everyone. What's up, 3Dub? You showed up like right before I started the intro.
I'm doing good.
Oh, my wires are crossed here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
mine's
Good.
on the arm, so I don't have that wire
I
problem.
ordered I ordered an arm a while back and it got delayed and I just got a refund on it. I have another one over here, but the other one that I have is one for the old mic that I have, but I wonder if this will fit on that. If it just
It
screws in.
should, if you have if you unscrew the thing that's connected to the stand, I
Mhm.
think it would fit on your arm.
Okay, I'm gonna try that after the stream just to see, because it's one of the ones that goes up and comes over,
hmm
so I could actually have it like right here, so that way it would be kind of off to the side. So I think that would be good. Hello,
I,
everybody. Welcome to the stream. Oh, what are you gonna say, 3Dub? Sorry,
I
I
was
didn't mean to
going,
cut you off there.
I was going to say like it also saves like room on your desk when you have an arm.
Yeah, I miss having one. I had one for a while back in the day, which is the Yeti mic that I have, but that one does like it's got a popping in it, which is why I changed microphones to begin with.
hmm
So now I have an arm with no mic on it, sitting over here in the corner. Um, yeah. Anyway, where's Paigey? I don't. You guys asked that. I feel like that's a meme now. I don't know. He might show up. Maybe he might be here today. I
He's
don't
in
know.
Australia. That's where he
Right.
is.
Where's he at? He's in Australia, of course. Of course, that's where he is. So this week is kind of weird. I'm excited because I actually think that let me do this here quickly. There we go. I actually think I might go live tomorrow and Thursday because I
Wow.
think Disney upfronts are tomorrow.
And there's a
I believe. Let me check. I think I bookmarked it over here, but let me look and see.
there is a Superman trailer coming out Wednesday.
Yeah, but that
Finally.
you know what? It really depends on how my Wednesday goes, but if would it be crazy if I went live like Tuesday or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? I think that would be a little insane, probably. But yeah, if I'm off work early enough, like sometimes I work till like 2 in the morning, so by the time I get home, it's way too late to go live. But if for some reason on Wednesday, I end up getting out of work early, like before midnight, I don't know if I will though. I might go live Wednesday night. If I don't, we'll talk about it on Thursday. But I'm excited. We have a bunch of Superman stuff to look at tonight. A lot of pictures, a mini teaser with Mr. Terrific that I want to talk about. So we're going to talk about all that tonight. But yeah, we have the upfronts are going to be tomorrow, and there's going to be a lot of news, probably. So much that I don't want to wait till Thursday to talk about it. So we'll probably go live tomorrow as well, just to kind of talk about all the Disney stuff. And if you're watching on the Reloaded channel, actually, it's only I lowered it tonight because you guys have been so awesome to me. It's just going to be 5 super chats to reach the goal tonight of the teal level. So 5 teal super chats. We're not doing 10 tonight. We're doing 5. Of course, you guys can super chat as much as you want. You know I appreciate it. But if we reach 5 teal super chats tonight, then we will do a poll 30 minutes before the end of the stream, and you guys will be able to pick it. So
If it's at the same time, I'll be available.
yeah, it would be. It would be around the same time, 100%. So, but this is going to be exciting because I think we might get. There's a rumor, and I wish Darren was here because I know I saw him kind of upset about it on Twitter. Apparently, there's a rumor they're going to drop 3 Ironheart episodes one week and 3 Ironheart episodes the next week, meaning that it would just be on for 2 weeks.
Yeah, basically, they're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's
as
what I
fast
feel
as they
like.
can.
Yeah, which bums me out, kind of. What's up, Lone Wolf? Good to see you. Reed, I don't think they're actually going to happen. Or we can talk about that a little bit tonight. There's an article that I have bookmarked just in case. Yeah, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I was going to say, like, I lost track of my thought.
I didn't mean to cut you off there. But yeah, so it kind of bums me out a little bit. But I'm hoping on the upfronts we see some footage from the Avatar movie. I'd like to see some stuff from Toy Story because I know there's drama around that. So I'd like to see if the drama is actually real about like Jesse and stuff. I'm not a massive like Toy Story fan, but I know a lot of people are. So I want to see what that's about. Are you a huge fan of Toy Story? Do you like it?
I've seen the first two.
How many
Basically,
how many are there now? Like with the
there's
spinoffs and
like
everything?
5. I think there's well
Yeah.
with spin-offs there's a lot more, but I've only noticed that there's like 5, and basically I stopped at 2 because that was
Mhm.
like when I started to emerge into my adult self. So I stopped watching kid movies.
Yeah. So you're not going to be seeing it then,
No.
even when it comes out at home.
Um. Basically, it Toy Story doesn't excite me like other franchises like Moana and stuff like that. Like it just
Mhm.
never really clicked for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So upfronts typically are for TV shows and not movies, but there's a possibility they could announce some stuff. That's what I think people are thinking.
I did remember
So
what I was going to say.
we'll see. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
uh, they made us like used to the fact that there's like shows that don't get a second season. So
Mhm.
for me with Ironheart, I expect not to get a second season. So I basically it's like just give it to us.
What does this mean? 3 Dub surprised to see you here. What does that mean?
Oh,
Uh,
he's just mad that I ditched him on his podcast today.
what?
Yeah,
What?
I told him like a few days ago. I was like, I'm not coming. I mean, like
Oh,
I
so why did he think you were going to be there? Because wait, I did see you were live on a weird day,
yeah
Lance. Because I
Monday.
I saw you live. I was out and about, and I was like, what is he doing live on a Monday?
He did a bonus stream for
Oh, got it.
yeah, he copied you.
Let's see here. All right.
Basically, I was asleep, so you know.
I want some drama. Come in here, Lance. Come in here. I want some drama. Give me some drama. I think the chat wants drama too. Uh,
Did you hear about that rumor about Spider-Man 4 where I was like, "There's the drama." I'm like, I hope he doesn't bring that up.
wait, what?
There's a rumored character that's
No,
Japanese.
no, no. I'm talking about this here.
Oh,
I had trolls posing as 3W.
wow.
Wait.
Imposters.
Wait. Like pretending to be 3Dub?
Yeah, I wasn't there. I was asleep.
Okay. All right.
can confirm.
Whatever you say, 3Dub. Whatever you
I
say.
can confirm I was in Dreamland.
All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Got a few things. All right. So let's do some random news first before we get into the big stories while we wait for people to hang out. And we do have some super chats. We'll look at that in a second. Let's pull this up though. All right, so if you go to a lot of movies, like I do, I try to go to movies at least 2 to 3 times a month, depending on what's out. It's kind of expensive, right? Like it's pricey, especially if you're going to like a big movie theater like AMC or Regal or something like that. For me, luckily, my movie theater is actually really cheap. It's only like $6 to see a movie because they're a full service restaurant. So they do things other than movies. They have a bar that's open till like 12 o'clock at night. So they have other things. So their ticket prices are very low. So I'm lucky. But if you're not someone that has one of those near you, you're probably paying a lot of money to go to movies. And this is what is hurting the movie industry the most, I think, is the cost of tickets. They're just so high right now. And with the cuts being divided between like how much the theaters get versus how much the studio gets, it gets a little bit messy. So AMC has decided, starting on Wednesdays specifically, which I think is probably, I'd have to look, but I'm assuming it's because that's the least amount of foot traffic. Maybe Wednesdays are the slowest days for their theaters.
Yeah, they're thinking like, let's cut the prices for the day that people aren't here.
Yes, but I think that's to bring people in on Wednesday. So what they're going to do is you'll be able to get 50% off whatever the cost of tickets are on Wednesdays. And I think it's actually all day. So it's not just like afternoon. I think it's nighttime prices too. So 50% off starting in July. And this is going to help movies that are going into their second and third weekends because people were not going on Wednesdays. So it's basically just like additional money that they wouldn't normally get. So I think that's a good thing.
I honestly think like people are going to see IMAX movies and they're going to get they're basically going to pay for the same price as a 2D version. So basically they're not really cutting. They're just basically cutting like 50%, but also hitting that 2D mark in the market so that they're not really losing money.
So a short card here says, do you think this discount will help or hurt F4 and Superman? Well, there's two things we have to consider when we're looking at this. The first thing is, are there people who would not go see the movie at all while it's in theaters because of the cost of the tickets? And if that's the case, this might incentivize those people to go out and see the movie in the middle of the week because it's a lot cheaper and they can make Wednesdays their movie night. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you get together with your friends. You're like, hey, we're not going to see this movie in theaters. We're going to wait for it to come on streaming. What if the ticket prices at 50% are cheaper than what it would cost you to rent it on streaming? So if it's like you and three of your friends, right? So if you and three of your friends were go to a movie theater like an AMC, normally you're going to spend anywhere from $12 to $15 on a ticket, sometimes more than that, depending on where you're at. So that would be like all three of you going would cost you like $60 if you go in and you get like a drink and a popcorn or something. So if you take all of that out and you go, we're just going to stream it at home because we can get it for $25 or $30 on streaming. If you cut those ticket prices in half, they can go see it while it's in theaters and still spend about the same amount of money they would spend otherwise.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. The other thing is taking into short car's comment into consideration here. There are going to be some people that will wait to watch it on Wednesday because it's cheaper. So the people that might go see it over a weekend, like if it's not a big movie, and when I say big movie, like Jurassic World, Fantastic Four, Superman, they could probably wait off to see it on a Wednesday. There will be some people that will do this, but I think it will primarily be, from what I've read, single ticket buyers, like people going by themselves to the movies, or families in the summer with a lot of kids that would not go see these movies on the weekends. They'd wait like a week or two or whatever to go see it. So I think ultimately, since it starts in July, we've got overlapping movies. Remember, you guys, we have like, how many is it? Like 5 movies all kind of overlapping with each other throughout July?
Yeah. We had like Jurassic World, Fantastic Four, Superman, and I think one other.
Smurfs is out too, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Smurfs is out.
No one's going to see Smurfs.
But the point is we have all these movies overlapping. So I think they know that, and they know people are going to be picky and choosy on which ones they go to see. So say, for example, you take your entire family to see Superman, but you spent all that money at the beginning of the month and you still want to see Fantastic Four because that's also going to be a family movie, right? You're probably going to say, do I go see Superman on Wednesdays and go see Fantastic Four on Friday, Saturday? Or do I go see both of them on Wednesdays with my families? Or do I see Superman on the weekends and see Fantastic Four on a Wednesday? I think those are the choices people are going to be making. I actually think there's a big reason for this, though. Karate Kid 2, that's another one, right?
I don't think it comes out in July, though.
There is nothing in August, really. So I think they're doing this to try and make people come into the theaters in August to see some of these movies as they kind of cycle out in August. I think that's what this is. So there's a lot of different things going on here. I know they talked about it in the article. I read the full article about this with all the info. There's a lot of like business talk about it, but I think when we're looking socially, it is really about like, I think the ultimate goal is convincing Mission Impossible. That's the other one. Because these movies will still be in theaters like 4 or 5 weeks out from now. I think they're trying to convince people who would not normally come to the movies to start coming back to the movies. I think that's what this is. I don't think it's about if you're a person that sees a movie on opening night, does not affect you. Like, I'm not going to wait until Wednesday to see a movie that I would see on opening weekend because it's 50% off. Because yeah, that's right. So yeah, I feel like that's the case. Like people that go and see it on opening weekend are not affected by this.
Yeah.
So Even Flow here says you aren't taking your family to 2 movies on a Wednesday. You'd at least wait until. No, absolutely, but that's what I mean. Like, I think they're going to go because there are movies that come out at different times. So I think they're going to wait. Like families will go. I'll go this week to see like Lilo and Stitch. I'll go next week to see Fantastic Four. We can't afford to go to see both of them on a weekend, but we can afford to see both of them on 2 Wednesdays because the cost would be the same if you're taking like your family of 4. If that makes any sense.
I also think it's kind of smart because isn't July in the I
Darren's here.
haven't been in like school for a
Yeah.
very long time, but I think
They're out on
is
July.
like-
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's why they're waiting till July to do this. That's why I think it's targeting families and individual ticket buyers, people that don't normally go to movies on opening weekends. Darren, you're just here for the first topic. Like, what do you think about this?
I mean, I don't know if you already talked about this. Our theater's been doing this for like 5 years. Like
Really?
If you go to the movies on Tuesday, you get $5 popcorn and you get $5 movie tickets every Tuesday, anytime, any showing. It could just
Is it an AMC or is it just a local theater?
It's Regal.
Oh, Regal does it. Okay.
It's Regal.
Okay.
Which is why when I go with other people, like if I go with my mom and I'm paying for her ticket, I go on a Tuesday, for I don't have to pay like $40
nice.
for a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
it is for their club members, but most people who go and see weekday movies are typically people that have memberships to movies or theaters because you get a bonus for doing that. That's why a lot of times people will say, I'm going to see X amount of movies this month because they have a membership and they get a discount anyway. So
In this economy, like if you're watching movies on the regular, I think you have to be. I think that's the only way to do it.
If you're going to see them while they're in cinemas, that's really the way it works. So
you are paying for your monthly membership the same price you're probably going to see maybe 1.5 movies.
right.
It's that simple.
I'm curious. Let me look this up. I want to see how much a Stubbs membership costs because I haven't had it forever because I typically just go to like 1 movie a week.
Well,
But if you're somebody that sees multiple movies a week, it makes no sense to not have a membership.
Even a month. Like if you're seeing more than one a month, it's because like for my membership it's like $22 a month, and it's like $200 a year. That's one trip to the cinema. That's already, if you're getting popcorn and stuff like that, like you're paying $40, $50, $60 at the movie theater. Like you kind of have to at this point.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the thing is a lot of people pregame. Like honestly, like the theaters near me, like the ones that aren't my theater, the ones that are like 40 minutes from me that are like AMC's and Regals, most of them have restaurants within walking distance of the movie theater.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna go and you're gonna eat dinner before you go to the movie, and then you might grab a snack or something or a drink while you're in the theater. But most people pregame before they do that. Okay, so this is crazy. Honestly, Darren, you're absolutely right. So the Stubbs membership is $25 a month. In most states, it can go up to $27, but it's typically $25 with tax. You can watch 4 movies per week in any format. 4 movies a week on that Stubbs list, as long as it's a movie that isn't like a first week movie. So like, if after that weekend, you go see it the next week.
Regal's better then, because I'm pretty sure you can see.
Yeah, you
any
can see
movie.
pretty much any movie, but you also lose the benefits of your rewards. Like you don't make any like for free movies.
Well, you don't need a free movie because you can see any movie as many.
Well, no, like if you want popcorn discounts, you need those rewards.
I mean, Regal it gives you a percentage off and stuff like that. So
Okay. Well, there's other stuff here. Let me read through what they have because this
Not
is actually
my fear.
for $25 if that's what it is where you are. Listen to what you get. So you can do 4 movies per week, any format. That means IMAX, Dolby, Real 3D, Standard 2D, any format. There's no online ticketing fees, which I mean, if you're buying if you're seeing 4 movies, if you're seeing 5 movies a week, and you're buying that 5th ticket, there's no fee for it. But I mean, you have to be like wild to be doing like 5 movies a week, honestly. You get free upgrades on popcorn and drinks, which is huge because that's super expensive. And then all of your refills on those are free.
yeah.
So like if you want to go, like if you want to fill up your popcorn before you leave the theater to take it home with you, you can.
Yeah.
On your birthday, you get free popcorn and drink.
Mm-hmm.
You get a priority lane just for you at the box office, which means you don't have to stand in line with everybody else. Darren, discounted tickets on Tuesdays, which is part of their deal.
That's funny because it doesn't always necessarily happen. Like basically, you're still stuck in line.
I mean, with other people with stubs things, but
Yeah.
there's also points you get for every dollar you spend that can be used to like get different things. And that's the A list, so that's the most expensive tier. Is $25. Actual basic tier, which is free. They have a free tier that gives you points for your tickets that you can be used to purchase movies down the road. Free upgrades on popcorn and fountain drinks. You get free popcorn on your birthday, and you get discounted tickets on Tuesday. So that means the free tier is still worth it just to have it. Now there's a mid-level tier. It seems like they added for $18 a year. Wait. Okay, so $18 a year. Gotcha. Yeah, this was $18 a year.
$18 a year. That's
a year. Right.
That's like that's
for the whole year.
Yeah.
The whole year. That I was like, that's a deal.
Well, yes, but the A list is the best one you can get, which is $25 a month. And it says here if you see at least 2 movies per month in premium formats, that one is the best value for you because it saves you money in the long run. Because the IMAX ticket is around $20, so the subscription pays for that ticket almost entirely.
But is it like for the entire family, or is it 25
no,
for
it's just you? It's just you. It's just you.
Basically, you could go like to a movie theater, and basically you're paying $60 every month.
Well, okay, so they're saying that the average cost of an IMAX ticket is $20 around the country. So if you have a $25 monthly membership, seeing one movie with that membership is only $5 more than the cost of an IMAX ticket. And you get all of these other benefits with food and drink at the concession stand. So that is true. If you're going to see one movie a month, it is worth it to pay for the monthly membership.
If you're single.
Huh?
If you're single and have no family.
But yeah, but I mean that's the point though. Like you're not gonna be paying this for your whole family. That's just ridiculous. Nobody would do that. But that's why you would do like the $17 a year, because you get like cheaper tickets on Tuesdays. Those are the ones you would do for your family. You're muted, Darren.
Sorry. I do think most places do have like a family plan though. So if you are taking your kids to the movie every weekend, it's like, okay, it's $50 a month and you get to go for free every weekend or something, kind of thing. So
the actual like monthly or the yearly one, it's like $18 a year, gives you no ticketing fees online. You get your free popcorn, fountain drink upgrades, birthday gift is a popcorn drink, priority concession lanes, 5 times AMC stub points for every dollar spent. And it says, is it worth it? Premiere is ideal if you attend movies occasionally and you want a few perks. The free one is basically just to get in on it. What is this? AMC Stubs Premiere Go? Free but requires qualification. Hold on, what does this mean? What is a qualification? Free but qualification. You must watch at least 8 movies at AMC or earn 5,000 AMC stub points in a calendar year. That's 8 movies a year at AMC? That's easy. That's most people, I think, if you're a movie person, goes to see 8 movies a year. All insider benefits, no online ticketing fees when purchasing 4 or more tickets. This might be the one that's good for families.
Yeah.
Yeah, the premiere seems to be 4 tickets or you have to do 8 movies at 4 tickets or more a year. So it's like a family thing. Like you have to be a family. So yeah, 8 movies a year at AMC with 4 ticket purchases per purchase. Mm-hmm. So that is the family one. And that's free. You don't have to pay for that. That was absolutely free.
Another thing my theater's been doing to kind of, and they've been doing this for almost 10 years now, but to like raise money other ways, they have like this like kids summer program thing they have once a week, where it's like I think it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they will show older movies for kids, and it's like $1 a ticket, so you can take your whole family, and then you can go see, like I think last week it was like Wild Robot, so you can take your entire, let's say you have 5 kids, you like 6 of you can go $6 all see a movie together. It's not a new movie, you've probably seen it, but it's a like that's something to also raise money and stuff like that. Our theater did, like, I don't know if your guys did this, but like they have like a like mystery movie night where you go in not knowing what the movie is. But it's a family movie, basically. No, that one it could be anything. That one
So you could be
is
taking
like
your kids to see like I don't know, like
that's something
Alien,
completely
Romulus,
separate.
or
Like
something.
I
it
actually-
has the rating on it. Like some
Oh,
say rated
gotcha.
R, some have
I'm
whatever.
actually, yeah. I'm
Like-
actually glad that they like warn us if it's a horror movie because
Oh,
I'm like I don't want
Jake
to be
has
like,
arrived.
I don't want to be like caught in a horror movie.
Yeah, no, like it like tells you the rating, so like you have to go in. You might be scared of it. You know, it could be
Yeah.
Terrifier, it could be Alien Romulus.
We
like,
watched-
you don't know.
To give you like a like, we don't normally watch older stuff here, like in the house. Like we normally watch new stuff, typically,
Sure.
or like as a group. Like we typically watch older stuff solo. But tonight we were like looking through, and we found like a 1988 movie called Vibes. Have you heard about this movie?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
And we
pick.
saw it. Yeah, we saw it, and I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't seen this in forever. So we decided to watch it, and there's like a weird like. I want to tell everybody this now, like when TV shows and movies try to do the 80s thing, it always feels a little weird because it's really hard to nail. I think shows like Stranger Things did a good job of nailing it. I think Skeleton Crew did a good job of nailing it, like that feeling of the 80s movies and that vibe or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I would say instead of them trying to do it, people can just go back and watch the stuff in the 80s. It's really good stuff. I mean,
Right.
It's a lot of fun. Jeff Goldblum, amazing back in the air. Darren, you're muted again.
Sorry,
Well, we keep
I
talking-
was eating an orange and I kept
okay.
muting myself or I
Okay.
wouldn't have to. Today
Cyndi
I
Lauper's great. Steve Buscemi's in it for like a minute. It's a great movie.
Today I started. It's not like a super old show, but it's like what 14 years old now. I started Dexter for the first time.
Oh.
And I
Nice.
was
Yay!
sitting there and being
Enjoy
like,
the ride.
I was like, man, like I need to start watching all these old shows. Like we're like so fed up. Not old show, but like
Right.
an older show.
Right.
And it's like we're so caught up on watching all this new stuff. It's like, man, there's so many great shows I feel like we've forgotten about. I miss that formula. of,
I
like,
wanted
the-
to start something, and tell me if this is a good idea, because I know Lance might have done something similar to this,
Mm.
where I let the chat pick something for me to watch, something that I
That's
haven't
fun.
seen before, like give them a list of 4 movies or 4 TV shows I haven't seen before, and make that the goal, like the
Yeah,
goal
that's a
for the
good
stream
idea.
or whatever, so that way I can go and
Yeah,
watch
there
it
you
and
go.
see what it's about. So I think that'd be
Yeah.
a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah. Like 2 or 3 days ago, this is a little bit of an older movie. I don't know who all here has seen it, but I rewatched Darkman 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely love that movie. It is so wild and wacky, but it fits completely of the not only the time it was made, but also that movie probably more than any other in Sam Raimi's filmography is just him going absolutely hog wild.
yeah. All right, well, let's check out some of these super chats. Stagger Voort, the 499 super chat. Again, guys, if you're watching on the Reloaded channel, it's only 5 super chats tonight at TL or higher to reach the goal. I wanted to make it easy because I might stream more than once this week. Because upfronts are tomorrow. So I might do another stream tomorrow night also. To
Yeah.
no one's surprise, there will be no upfront presents for the CW. Nope.
What?
Watch live
Crazy.
sports.
We have some CW stuff to talk about. Matter of fact, it's one of the titles on the Debunk stream, which is Stephen Amell. I want to discuss that.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm not too
Feel like
surprised
season
about this. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's sad because just think about this. Like 5 years ago, we were talking about the CW like every day, like
Yeah.
multiple streams a week talking about it.
Yeah.
And now it's
Yeah.
Even
That's
then,
not
that
funny.
was when everything was kind of in a drought because it was like right as the pandemic was starting.
right.
And we were
Well, the
still
thing
talking about it more than now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember like Paige and I talked about it. Some of my biggest streams were during the COVID era. Like we would have streams with like hundreds and hundreds of people watching because there was nothing to do.
There was
So everybody was
nothing to
coming to
do.
stream.
Yeah, there was
I
nothing.
kind of want
Yeah.
to be like you regret leaving now, basically.
Zach here, which by the way, get better, Zach. Apparently, Zach had some surgery, so get better and feel better, Zach. 279 California or Canada, California. What am I talking about? Canada super chat. Fallout season 2 December. Let's go, as Deadpool says. By the way, they've already been greenlit for season 3.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
What did you guys think of the first season of Fallout? Did you like it?
I loved Fallout, but I hated that it was a binge model. I think that show would have been so much better. It would have had such longer legs
Week
if
to
they
week.
had that 8 weeks in a row. Because I think back on that whole run, like that was great. I can't tell you a specific episode of the show.
Mhm.
It all blends together as one giant
Yeah.
mush. But it was great. It was a really fun show.
I heard that you hate that 3 episode for Ironhearts.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
I'm going to save my thoughts.
We will. Let me get through this question here, and then Darren, you can say what you want to say. Jake, you like Fallout? Did you enjoy it?
I didn't love it. I liked it. I wasn't like as engrossed into the games as a lot of other people were.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought it was good for what it was. Granted, I haven't seen it since it came out, so I'll probably have to give it a rewatch. But it was more positive than negative. But it wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh my god, this is blowing my fucking mind. Yeah. But I was like, you know what, this is good, solid TV.
Yeah. 3W, did you watch Fallout?
Yeah. It's a slow
You didn't like
start.
it. He didn't like it. Okay, never mind.
No. I liked it, but it was a slow start. Like it was a slow.
I
burn.
will say that I'm not a huge game fan of Fallout. I've only played one of the Fallout games.
Never played it, yeah.
But I thought the show, like if you were to have that show where someone, because several people I know watched it that never played the games, they enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing is that it
Yeah.
goes beyond the games in that way.
It's like it really has set a new precedence because I think it's the best at like doing a game adaptation because it takes place in universe of the actual games. That I think people are going to pick up on really quickly because what happened as soon as that show came out, game prices went up.
I actually think more games should do that. Like more game to TV or movies adaptations. I mean, The Last of Us is a different thing. We can talk about that a little bit later on. But like, I think games like these games that have like multiple stories or they may add on and DLC and stuff. You can just put a character in that world and let them exist in that world without trying to copy everything from the game.
Right.
It's kind of funny. Anime's been doing this for years.
Yeah, Twisted Metal got a lot of praise for that as well. So,
like, you don't need to just do the story of the game again because, like, that's something that half your people have already seen. And not to say that wouldn't be good because, like, again, Last of Us is like a good example of where just doing that beat to beat, or at least they did that for season 1. At least that has worked for them. Yeah. But things like Elder Scrolls, I think, for example, could be great in TV format. There's so much story you could do there.
Zelda.
This is even more of a niche one, but I think Fire Emblem could be really good in TV format because there's so many different stories there. And like both of those games, you put those on TV and they have kind of that Game of Thrones aesthetic there. So that alone, I feel like would resonate with people and it would be enough to kind of draw people in.
One I think that for me personally, I think would be a great like movie or TV show would be Thief. I kind of like the story that they tell.
I remember that game back in the day on the computer. It's like a game from like when I was a kid.
Same here.
So, all right.
Spider-Man PS4, give them a movie.
We have one more super chat, and then we're going to let Darren talk about Ironheart here. So, $5 super chat from Cody. That's 2 out of 5, you guys. You only need 3 more at the teal level. My theater on Thursdays does free popcorn, and Lilo and Stitch is doing Thursday showings next week. Oh. That's going to be good for families then. The kids are going to come again and get a lot of popcorn.
Yeah, that's nice for a theater to do.
It missed it by one day. You need it on Wednesday.
I have a feeling, and I know Darren's going to agree with me, that Lilo and Stitch is going to be a $1 billion movie for Disney.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's so fascinating too because like they had such a late promotion. Like they were like 3 months out on the movie. We had seen nothing, not a single piece of footage.
Lance is copying Darren now.
Are you stealing my hat thing, Lance?
Well, since I stepped in your stead and had a Monday stream, I should go rename it Lance after the credits.
I didn't know Darren was starting to wear buckets now.
So, Lance, before we get into the Ironheart stuff, would you like to tell us what happened with 3Dub trolling you today?
Well,
I did not troll him.
Well, I received a bunch of disturbing comments, one of which was targeted at 3Dub. Something about him, and I kid you not, something about him gooning over Batwoman, and that's probably why he's always giggling. And
what?
Then the troll, like, I blocked it, and then another one showed up, and then they started targeting targeting towards Phil, And I guess like they didn't like the fact that Phil wasn't like responding, and he was just saying, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, thank you." So like they just kept going.
Targeting was Phil on your stream?
Yeah, like he was in the comment sections at first.
Okay.
He was in the comment section at first. So like he was just he was just replying, "Oh, thanks, just played it cool." He's like, "Who is this guy?"
Who was it? What was their screen name?
It was a whole it was a whole bunch of random, some like Katie's Castle, went to the profile, nothing on the profile.
Katie's Castle.
It was a whole bunch of random stuff. It was a whole bunch of random
cartoon.
stuff.
You're
My birthday's not until July 15th.
Oh my god.
I really weird because like you have like a really nice community, but every once in a while you'll get like a random user.
troll.
Yeah.
It's like we've had months without nothing, and then a random guy will show up.
More than a
Darren,
month. It's been more than a
Speaking of
month.
random trolls,
literally,
Darren, you know
Lance
what was
comes in,
funny?
Pagey comes in. What the heck?
No, Darren, this was the funny thing. I think
Casey hit me up on the
Renewal was
side.
here. I think it was you, me, Ben, like a few others. A comment was made about insert individual here,
Yeah.
and then insert individual pops in immediately after that.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay, that was a summon.
wait, it's into the stream or the chat?
The chat.
Oh.
Yeah, I just found the timing of that hilarious.
But yeah,
So-
it was weird. Like it was literally like we were doing.
Don't you have like mod? You have a bunch of
ranking.
mods in your chat normally.
They didn't do shit.
Bro, Raghu wasn't.
Didn't do a
the thing is, Raghu was like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention." And me and Taj are literally like, "Where are the mods?"
I was sleeping, so I mean,
He's like, where are the like? None of my mods were in this chat. I was
Oh my
like,
god.
"What?" He's like, I wasn't paying attention, so I had to do it myself. We were doing just a tier ranking, bro. Like a tier ranking. I said, I
Well,
don't understand if you
maybe
wanna
that's a
troll
sign
doing
that you probably shouldn't stream on like Mondays. Maybe not do Mondays. So maybe it's when the trolls come out.
It was just a regular bonus stream since a person who shan't be named told me that I can't
Hey,
that
buddy.
I shouldn't use our Sunday Ranger Nation stream as the bonus stream that they voted for because of the super chat stuff, and I have to give the audience what they wanted. But
That
then
was me.
he decides he's not gonna show up, even though he's the one. Who
Oh my
suggested-
gosh, the drama is so good. Keep going. This is good.
basically, he was
Like,
trying
Darren's
to like
quiet.
he was trying to appreciate his fans by combining the streams.
You kind of got a point there, Lance. Actually, because we did have that stream planned a week in advance. He's like, "Oh, I'll just make that one the bonus one," and like even me, I'm like, "That seems a little, I don't know, that's a little odd."
Whose side are you on?
Side of the money, Lance. I still haven't paid.
All right. With that being said, Paigey, welcome to the stream. You jumped into the drama.
Pagey's so hot.
Yeah, I wasn't really listening, to be completely honest. I sort of like tapped out when
Did you
I
listen?
realized it was.
Did you
sort
listen
of-
Did you listen to the comment I just gave you? I just gave you a compliment, Paige.
Well, no, I saw your weird like DM that you were loving Kanye's new song. I was like, what
Oh,
are you
we're not
talking
even.
about?
Nope.
Kanye has a new song.
We're not.
Okay, now he's
not.
playing
Lance, who's
dumb.
spooning now.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Kanye West because he's anti-black. So
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
That is 100% true. So then you don't want to listen to the new song. Actually,
No,
it's been
I don't.
banned on most platforms anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We're not even. Paigey wants to get into it. We're not going to get into it. But anyway, all right. So we have some super chats here. Let's quickly go through these. $2 super chat from Screwface Capone. GTA, Mafia, BioShock would make great TV. Do we agree with that? I think BioShock would be cool, actually.
Maybe.
GTA would be hard. I don't know.
Well,
how
because
you would
GTA
do
is just
that.
kind of real life. It's just people
That's
doing
just
real
cops.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much.
I don't know.
just
Paigey
cops.
would probably love a GTA TV show, honestly.
No,
Like
they seem to
Vice
get
City.
that. They need to pull their finger out. And what are they doing? This Gears of War thing has been
That's
like
true.
happening for like a million years and still is yet to happen.
That's
Like,
true.
What's going
Wait,
on?
was that supposed to be on Amazon? I think wasn't that originally?
Netflix apparently, and then like
Netflix.
nothing happened.
Naruto with a $2 super chat. Lance, how are your glasses doing? Oh.
Yeah.
well, The guys saw the video yesterday. They broke again. They broke again mid song at my service. So there was that. I had to drive home like this to make sure
my god!
And I had to stop and buy some Gorilla Glue.
Okay.
There you go.
Lance, it's crazy it happened twice to you and both on camera. That's
Right.
great.
No, that first time it's midstream. I can't remember what the conversation is. But we're sitting there talking, and then
Thunderbolts.
Just
This
sitting
is-
there
It was the Thunderbolts review.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. It's the Thunderbolts
shocking.
review.
King here's 199 super chat says his mods were gooning. Wait a minute, hold on. That might work because didn't you say the comment was like something dirty? Didn't you? Were you saying it was like a sexual comment or something?
Yeah.
I really hope it's not that same person that did the 3Dub and DJ Eric.
Oh, don't bring that. Let's
Shut up.
not bring that back up. Let's not bring that back up.
Yeah, that was like terrible.
Eric, I just shared to you the first time my glasses broke.
Yeah, I
in the,
just pulled up the
private
short
chat.
here on my end.
Oh, do you want me? Wait, do you want me to like show it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me pause it.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah. Because
All right.
we're just talking, and you just see Lance in slow
Hold
motion
on.
almost. Just
All right, let me share this.
oh, this is priceless.
Why is it? You made it a short. Oh, it's a short. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna watch a whole video, but it's a
No,
short.
it's a short.
All right, here you go. All right,
Hey, Darren, look, we're on TV.
all right, here we are.
That on paper might seem very like cliche, whatever, but just in terms of what the set design and what they were doing, where scenes were moving and changing, characters being pulled away,
And I noticed it right there. That's why it's something I'm making
different,
because I noticed it
like
just
different,
happened.
What
Oh,
the
damn.
hell just happened?
oh, damn.
Oh no!
How do you? How did you
What did you do?
do?
Nothing. I pull my headphones up like this, and then the next thing I know, it's Lou.
Lance did not see that coming.
Oh, I'm sorry, the audio's not coming through right. Anyway, that's funny. The audio is all through my speakers. All right.
Mike looks so disappointed.
It's the fact that he said, "Do I keep going?" Like, oh,
Oh my gosh. All right. Lone Wolf here with Team Eric member for 54 months. Anyone seen FD Bloodlines? Last Tony Todd role. Does anybody watch that?
No.
I haven't seen the movies.
The trailer. Is the movie out already?
It's coming out, I think, next weekend or like.
Yeah, it's not out in Australia yet. It comes out this way, or 2 days.
The advertising for it is crazy. Have you guys seen like the stuff they're doing? To
Oh,
advertise the movie?
it'll make a lot of money. I don't think it costs much to make it.
Isn't Becca Bradley? What's her name? Jesus Christ, Stargirl. What's her name?
Rick Bassinger.
Yeah.
What did you call her? Becca Bradley? Who the fuck is Becca?
I don't know.
That should be a soundbite right there.
She's in that. I heard Paige's been gooning over her in the comments.
What?
Over who?
All right.
Over
Becca Bradley?
Yeah, Becca Bradley. This invisible, never before heard of
Run this into
person.
a drinking game every time somebody says gooning.
Oh yeah, it's true. Anonymous, who I have no idea who they are. 199 super chat.
Apparently, it's Hero's Journey.
I'm saying I know exactly what that means. I realize it's been peaceful in the chat without Hero's Journey. I know a lot of people have said that. I think it's really funny. I'm only going to mention it once because I do appreciate your super chat, but I'm going to mention it once here. Is that he loves to come into chats that I'm in and say hello to everyone but me, which I think is hilarious. I'm like, do that more. That's fun. Please
Yeah.
come in and do that.
He
more.
hates me.
He does
and,
that on every channel. He'll
Does
come
he?
into my streams
Yeah,
and say
yeah,
hi to
you're-
Taz.
You're not the only one he has problems with.
Yeah. Which is weird because I was defending him when he got mad at me. That was the funny part. That was the hilarious part.
Hey, no, that's not what happened.
Yes, it is.
You were defending him.
Well, I wasn't talking shit about him.
That's not defending.
Well, it was because
Just
I was
being
saying
quiet.
I have always I've been much nicer to him than most people.
You've been nicer than me.
You've been
I
nicer
told
than
him
you
that-
should have been.
Yes.
I
Right.
told him his streams give me antacid.
Well, I've never been on his streams. I'm just saying when he came in my chat and said sexist, misogynistic stuff, I was always very kind to him, even though I'm just like, there's something off about this person.
Something.
And
several things.
something off about this person. And I humored him a lot of times because I'm like, well, maybe he's just trying to be funny. But the fact that he got mad about something that I did tells me that it's not just him being funny. There's something wrong. There's clearly something wrong with him. So I regret ever being socially kind to that person.
I can't find him on YouTube anymore.
Why would you want to find him?
That was my question. I was like,
Why are you looking for him? That's the bigger question.
I want to like watch the videos of him calling Supergirl God Complex Girl. And I'm
Yeah. You know, if you're going to use an insult, it needs to roll off the tongue a little bit better than that. That's one of the worst ones.
It really does.
Cameron with the $5 super chat. After Lance's glasses were broken, I called Lance that he looked like, told Lance that he looked like Diddy and Kevin Durant all in one.
You did say that.
That was
I think Paigey has already confirmed that Lance does resemble Diddy, right? Didn't you say that, Paigey? Like, that's just...
No, it was like Urkel, wasn't it, or something?
Urkel.
Paigey, is that slight racism that I sent?
I mean, it's anything Paigey says sounds like slight racism.
Well, I was going to say it's probably more like ableist because you both wear glasses.
That's also true. That's also true.
I love your shirt, Lance.
Not gonna say. All right. I want to.
Is he the one that goes, "Did I do that?"
Yes, that's exactly him. Yeah.
That
That's
could
what
be a quote, Lance. Did I do that?
We talked about it briefly, and I think we're going to get a trailer tomorrow, which is the Ironheart stuff. So we're getting the upfront, so we're probably going to get an Ironheart trailer. I'm very curious to how many people are going to lose their minds over saying how bad this is, because you know that's what's going to happen, regardless of how good it is. But the rumor that has Darren upset on social media is that they're going to do a 2-week drop of this, meaning 3 episodes 1 week, 3 episodes the next week, and they're done with it.
Kevin Feige's racist confirmed.
We already got the first Ironheart trailer, though. It's called Wakanda Forever.
That is true.
Darren, you were very upset about this, so do you want to tell us?
I mean, that's what you meant by 3+3?
Yeah.
I think that's what they were trying to imply. I mean, this would piss me off for any show. I think this is such a weird formula. I really disliked it for, and it was a bit better there, but I really disliked it for the Spider-Man show that dropped, where they did 4 drops of that didn't work well for me. I will always prefer to have a weekly format than just trying to drop it all at once. And I think I understand this is the last Disney Plus 6-episode event they have on their table. Once this is out, it will be 100% Bob Iger refocused on quality versus quantity.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder if this means it's bad. I wonder if this means it's not as good as they want it to be.
I think I don't have it pulled up here, but I think that that Ryan Coogler's Creed thing is getting a TV show now.
Yeah.
It's Michael B. Jordan is doing it, and it's just based off the it's going to be a drama that primarily takes place in that gym.
Yeah.
But it's a Michael B. Jordan thing.
Yeah, but I still feel like it's based off the quality of Ryan Coogler's work, because that's why they picked it up. So this is off of his production company. I can't imagine it's going to be bad.
He produced the entire thing, so I don't know why people are hating on it.
Is it a possibility it might miss the mark on a few episodes or something? Yes, but I'm not one of those people where one episode ruins a whole season of a show for me, or one thing that happens ruins the whole show for me. I know there's some people that are like that.
5 begs to differ.
No, season 5 has a lot of problems, but
they didn't have a good episode in that season.
It has less problems than other seasons.
So I hate the whole premise was a problem to me. The whole fucking premise, her being there, hanging out because the worst band of time travelers said it was okay, is a fucking problem. Yeah, that's the problem.
The thing that I saw that pissed a lot of people off too, not to go off on a whole rabbit hole, but they basically stole Bart Allen's comic storyline and gave it to that guy.
Oh yeah. I do remember that, so
yeah,
that could be a whole nother rabbit hole of stuff there. But yeah. So I want this to be good. However, I don't think Disney is confident about this, because we're getting the trailer so very late. And if that trailer drops tomorrow, and this is why I think it could be true, because I believe some of the influencers probably have already heard about this trailer. At the end of that trailer, it might say 3 episodes on this date, 3 episodes on that date, and that's it.
At that rate, I would just prefer they drop it all at once. Just do a binge model thing. What's the point of even spreading it out in between 2 weeks? Just echo it, put all 6 hours at once, have people whatever. It's weird, like especially if if we are still heading toward Young Avengers, if that is still the goal, just trying to like throw this out as I assume she will be one of your main members of that team is weird. It's a weird choice.
There hasn't really been anything to say that we're heading in that direction. Like, just because we have characters that could form that team doesn't mean it's going to happen.
The Marvels, right? It's her being like, I'm putting up a team. I'm putting together a team.
Yeah.
Unless she's not involved, unless they write this character off completely, which, to be fair, maybe could be what's happening because
because of Secret Wars.
Rhodey movie is no longer happening. And I think she's probably connected to that.
I actually think Secret Wars. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, we're gonna do a stream about this. I swear to you guys, it's literally you guys voted for it. We're gonna do a stream about this, but I do want to mention this. It is possible that after Secret Wars, we get a new Iron Man. We get a new Iron Man story, and none of this stuff matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the question that I've been seeing a lot of people ask, that, you know, like after the Secret Wars reset, because there's going to be a lot of things, you know, like from just that we've seen in the Multiverse Saga in general, that, I mean, obviously they're not going to be paid off before those two Avengers movies.
Mm-hmm.
So are they even going to matter, or are they just going to be left unresolved? Like, I've seen a lot of people asking that question.
Yeah, so Cody it's like the elephant in the room, but I feel like it has to be brought up. $5 super chat. Some people think Marvel is sabotaging its black characters. I mean,
they're not completely wrong. Like, it's all surrounded by like circumstance, but like the Rhodey project, the Blade project,
the way they treated Captain America 4. I mean,
Captain America 4, Kang, Iron. I don't think that's what's happening, but it's a really, really, really bad coincidence.
Sending a black character into an alternate universe and not figuring out how to bring them back before the end of the film.
Which one are you referring to?
Monica.
Oh.
Okay,
Marvel. Yeah.
I actually think Monica might be the one that's really important during the two movies, though.
Yeah. I think Monica is going to be,
because if they're talking about incursions, she might be the one character that can like travel through and do things because of her powers.
She's also on the cover of the original Secret Wars. Just going to point that out.
That's absolutely true.
Not giving us T'Challa, but giving us T'Challa Jr.
Right, I was going to say T'Challa Jr., right.
Who technically came from a household who's not married, so he is technically a bastardized child.
Would they let a bastardized child have future reigns to the throne one day? That's a whole
exactly. Like, yeah, that's killing off Queen Ramunda for no reason.
Well, there was probably. I imagine that Ramunda
there was reason.
There was no reason. He had no reason to kill her. Also, trying to kill black kids is crazy in a movie. Like, he's targeting high school kids.
Like, in a version of that script where T'Challa was still the main character, I imagine she was probably going to die anyway.
Most likely.
I would agree with that, yeah.
And then they, you know, like, with what they had to rework.
We've never seen like the full version of what that movie would have been.
Yeah.
We've only heard bits and pieces of it.
But
I think you're right.
Another world.
Well, how
see what that is?
I've seen it. I've seen
it. How far into development was that original version before he passed away?
Right.
Yeah.
I would say the script was probably underway. So
he was training for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paige, what do you think about this Ironheart thing? Do you think they're just trying to dump it, or what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, like,
he said it's woke trash. So,
well, it's probably going to be us, like, if we're being completely honest. But like,
I knew you hated sinners.
What? When's it? Does it have a release date?
It's June. It's in a couple weeks.
So maybe they just want it out before Fantastic Four.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been. I think their last episodes of Fantastic Four were going to be the same week.
I wonder if the positive reception to Thunderbolts is causing them to just dump this.
Maybe.
I think you're 100% right. Yeah, because what they want is this continuous flow of positive energy towards the studio. That's what they want. And Ironheart, unfortunately, is the only exception where it's like, this could be the greatest show that's ever been made. This could be their best show, and it will still send negative energy towards the studio because of what the show is. It's your new Iron Man, and who's playing that said replacement for Iron Man. Like that is going to send so much.
Even
stuff
if
towards
it's not a direct replacement, that's the framing of the character.
Yeah, like that's the perception.
Yeah.
I uploaded a TikTok just this week talking about like Marvel TV shows. Didn't mention Ironheart whatsoever. Wasn't in the conversation.
Right.
I had about 3 comments being like, "She's just DEI Iron Man." I was
Of
like,
course,
"I'm not
of
even
course.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Why are we bringing this up?"
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Stuff and jump on a hate wagon.
Yeah, Cameron with a $5 super chat. Ironheart is the last Marvel show that has no showrunner. Correct.
Yep.
This is also why the narrative doesn't matter. I mean, they could drop 4 episodes one week, 2 episodes the next week. It doesn't matter, which is unfortunate. I think there was 2 reasons why they weren't going with the showrunners. One is it's cheaper. They already had directors that were capable of coming in from movies and just making these shows quickly. Yep. The other thing is that they thought the show would have a more cinematic feel if they let movie directors do them instead of like TV directors. And what they found out is it actually hurts the shows when you take out basically the entire backbone of what the show is, which is a showrunner, the person that conceives the show.
Because then, like, if you have a movie director there, they're fit and more accustomed to telling stories that are made for movies.
Right.
They don't fit the flow of those episodic series. They don't fit the flow at all.
It's going to be crazy if the first 3 seconds is Marvel Spotlight on the show.
Well, Marvel Spotlights can be done by movie directors technically because they're just like one thing. There's like
basically, Marvel Spotlight is like confined to this and never going to branch out.
Oh, you're talking about I think they got rid of that though, didn't they? There's only 3.
I don't. Yeah, like,
it's Marvel TV, Marvel Animation, and Marvel Film. That's it. There's no separate thing that's.
Yeah, they like did it for Echo, and I would assumed that would have been like Daredevil as well if they would have kept on doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's almost pointless now. Just like
I think Marvel Spotlight was before Daredevil got rebooted into what it is now.
I think
probably.
So too.
I just look. I want this to be good, but I have a feeling, just like with everything else that has not worked for them in terms of, and when I say not worked, I mean financially specifically, because I don't think it has to do with any kind of critical acclaim. I think it really is about money. So they're going to look back at this stuff when Secret Wars comes around, which is why we probably haven't heard a lot about that movie. They're going to look back at this and go, "We're erasing everything that did not work for us financially."
Yeah.
That's their version of soft reboot. Keep what works, ditch what doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
So all the black people.
I mean, and the women and all those other characters. So yeah.
Have you guys seen those talks too? That Vision Quest series is supposedly going to be the last like MCU series that is tied to the films.
I think they mean like the film coming into the shows and not the other way around.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
last one that had pre-existing films.
You want to hear a hot take? I kind of want that. I kind of want them to do that. I feel like they've made such a mess of it. I just go back to what you were doing before because I would prefer that.
We are going back, and this isn't a bad thing, but we are going back to what it was pre-Endgame, where these shows that were connected to the movies.
Darren, look what we got pre-Endgame. Agent Carter, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all the Netflix shows. Almost all of those things were good. There were very bad. There were very few bad shows in Humans. I'm looking at you. There are very few bad shows that came out. We had some of the best Marvel TV shows prior to them trying to do this with the streaming platform. This is one of those times where consolidating everything sounded like a good idea, but they dropped the ball so hard in the beginning that there's almost no recovery.
They didn't know how to do it. And like, I think we talked about this last week, Eric, but like there's going to be 2 live action shows each and every year, which is going to include Daredevil, which they have said they want to keep doing Daredevil as long as they can. They want to put out a season every single March, which means there will only be 1 new TV show every year if that second show isn't a ongoing weekly show or an ongoing yearly show.
Like Punisher would count as like a TV thing, but not a TV show. It's like a special, right?
It's a presentation. Yeah.
So they could do like 2 of those a year with 2 TV shows. I'd be okay with that. I think that's fine.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
And animated shows. Like we still have X-Men, we have Spider-Man, we have Eyes of Wakanda, which is going to be like a one-off, but like you can do more stuff like that if you want, which I think is smart.
What if season 4? Kidding.
Steigervor with the $4.99 super chat. By the way, we reached the goal already. Thank you guys so much. I'll put the poll up in about 30 minutes. 3Dub, remind me if I forget. Steigervor with the $4.99 super chat. Unfortunately, once this trailer drops on YouTube, the comment section will be a cesspool of hate. I already anticipate it will be. I mean,
it already kind of is.
Yeah, I mean, like people are preparing. there's probably somebody right now writing out their insults for the trailer before the trailer even drops. Like
Their
that's the reality.
thumbnails are made. They are ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's. Ugh.
Yeah.
All those people practicing angry faces in front of the mirror, figuring out which one is going to be better.
Like Tyrone Magnus getting ready to react to the trailer. Like, it's just be prepared for it. I have gotten to a point where I think we're seeing, and I know people don't believe it, but I have a whole separate thing dedicated to this where I keep track of like the channels that are doing this. There is an actual decline in the viewership of these channels that are doing this. We're seeing massive drops in viewership and subscribers for them. I'm not saying they're going to close and shut doors tomorrow, but we're seeing a shift slightly in the negativity. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of the stuff that they've wanted to see is cycling into media and they have a lot less to complain about. So we'll see what happens. Lone Wolf, the $2 super chat, sent you something. I was like, cool. Now I'm like, question mark. I saw it, Lone Wolf. I actually did have that ready to talk about because Bo DeMayo had something to say about it. So we'll be covering that in a minute.
Has he launched his porn stuff yet? Or?
Not yet. Not yet.
Damn it.
Everybody's
definitely
Aaron
going
was
to
so
need
disappointed.
I would say everybody's waiting in anticipation for that.
We are definitely going to need a rant and review on that one.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I'll put it right on YouTube. Cameron here with the $2 super chat. Marvel put Wonder Man under the Marvel spotlight.
Did they?
That doesn't come out, so how would you know?
I think I actually wonder if it's going to stick. I wonder if that's going to stick because I don't think it will. I mean, the only reason they would leave it under spotlight is if they have no intention of using that character beyond Secret Wars.
I wonder if Wonder Man would be their second show because that seems like a show, if successful enough, could go on for a couple years. Like that feels like what, because it's not connected to the movies. It's an original character. It's like about like an actor. So that feels very like serialized. Like I don't know much about that character. Like I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm an expert on Wonder Man because I'm really not. But like I feel like that could be like a Daredevil and Wonder Man be your two shows.
Maybe. I mean, I think one of the strongest things about that show is going to be what the strongest things were about Miss Marvel and Moon Knight, and that is just the delivery and performance of the lead actor. Because, I mean, as we saw in the Aquaman movies, Yahya Abdul-Mateen kills it in these type of roles, so he would definitely bring his A game here to this too.
And it's the same director of Shang-Chi and the upcoming Spider-Man movie as well.
Yep.
I've always wondered, like, is Wonder Man going to have his own villains, or is he going to like pull from other heroes?
Wonder Man does have a couple of his own villains in the comics. Most of them are shared with Avengers though, because he's been on the Avengers, like all the different Avengers teams. The West Coast Avengers is one of his biggest runs in comic books.
I'm always like worried that like if it draws out, it's going to be like Arrow basically fighting Batman villains.
Short car, I'm tapping my nose here. Yes, that's true.
Well, we'll see how they're treated in December. Is it going to be a weekly show? Because again, that's not a showrunner. Like, I'm sorry, that is a showrunner show. That's one of the first. Actually, it might be the first official one that's all the way through.
Technically, tomorrow we should see something about Wonder Man.
I thought I'd gotten deaf. My headphones were muted. Like I couldn't. And I was pressing buttons and stuff, and it wasn't working. And then I realized the Bluetooth keyboard disconnected.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I honestly thought I'd lost my hearing.
The only notable villain, this isn't like a Wonder Man exclusive villain, but the only one that I can think of that the movies haven't used because they've used people like Zemo, Abomination, Atuma, people that he usually fights. The only one I can think of that could work for a TV setting, could actually work really well if done right. I don't think they've done, unless I'm just forgetting, I don't think they've done Absorbing Man yet.
No.
So that could be a character that they put in there.
I mean, they did on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I was about to say, that depends if you count Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, I've completely forgotten until you brought that up. But yeah, I don't know if they want to retcon that character in there or
they
not.
could just make a new Azure Man. It'd be no problem.
Yeah, it would not be the first time that they've done something like that.
Yeah.
I knew my cat wanted to get up here. I was trying to avoid her hitting the microphone. So there we go. All right, so we have this news here that dropped, and it says Neve Campbell is reportedly being cast as Polaris in the MCU. Polaris, for people who don't know, is Magneto's daughter in the comics. So this came out. Yeah, this came out, and a lot of people were like, "What? What are we talking about here?" And then we got a little bit of clarity. Let me show you here quickly.
There's not even a ready script for anything X-Men related yet.
Can I go on just like a mini thing?
Go for it.
I don't think any of the current X-Men casting that like all these people are saying, they're all false. I don't think there's any logistic anythings. They're like, oh, this for Cyclops and this. Like, no, they are not casting for that movie yet. We don't have a script for that movie yet.
Right.
I seriously doubt it.
Right, because that's the problem. Because they don't want to repeat the Blade problem, where they casted the actor and then tried to write the movie around that. That's, I think, one of the major things that has screwed them, and they don't want to make that mistake again.
The only way that would happen, the only way that we could get that casting now, if they're in the end of Secret Wars, if like the final scenes in that movie is like them showing up or something to set them up or something.
Yeah,
that would be the only way we'd get it in the next couple of months or whatever.
Right.
Well,
My
a lot of
belief in this rumor is like my time to shine. No.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is that a lot of people thought that maybe that she was cast because they're doing the killing off the X-Men in the what you call it, Doomsday movie. But then Bo DeMeo comes in and says, incorrect. I cast her as Polaris in season 2 of X-Men 97. She does amazing work bringing something new and felt right to have a 90s icon pick up where Lorna's story was left in cold comfort. She's got some thoughts on Genosha. Thoughts on this, guys? Thoughts on this?
This feels like a lie. I don't know. Like, this feels like bullshit again, but like, is he at this place in his career that he's just trolling?
I don't know. He could
Well, the
be.
thing is that like it's not like he's saying for season 3. So like if it was for season 3 or something, it's like, oh, well, I'm using my old connections. Like it's not like that.
Right.
So I mean, I'd believe it just because he was the showrunner
Yeah.
leading into season 2. So he might have gone, well, this is meant to be an important character, so let's cast it correctly. So
Do we
the
think
bottom
we
one,
stuck around?
load
though?
of R's. Sorry.
Do you think she stuck around? Do you think she's still going to be the voice actor in season 2?
I mean, didn't she stick around with the Scream franchise even after all the drama there? So
Yeah.
You're right. She has low standards when it comes to like sticking to anything.
she's like,
She's like, I just want the money. I just want the
Well,
money.
yeah. And she probably gets a, I don't know, low effort, like the voice acting thing in comparison to like she showing up on set, just show up to a booth.
I actually like her.
And she
I
probably
think
just,
she's really
she probably
good,
just has to
but-
speak as well. I highly doubt she's doing an accent. So she's probably like, yeah, run, Magneto. or
She's probably
whatever.
doing the ASMR thing, like Magneto, do you need me? Like stuff like that. It's probably
Why would she say that? Isn't it her dad? That sounds really sus.
What? Why do you immediately think that "need me" means something other than like his help or something?
Because it's
like
you,
that?
Eric, and you're
No, I don't think so.
subconscious.
No, it's
things.
just because of ASMR. But I don't know. Like, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this because my questions about season 2 revolve around how much of it has to be rewritten because he's no longer attached to it.
We heard that like season 2 was almost done, like outside of some small little things. Like, it seems like writing wise, it was mostly completed, and that's a good point though, Paigey. It's like, yeah, this is season 2. It's not season 3. I feel like that's such a like why her? Out of all the people you can cast, like that feels like a lot of money. I know she's not like a massive actress, but like still, like it feels like I feel like you can just cast anyone for this character. Why does it have to be a celebrity?
Right. When there's other voice actors out there that could do the job.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's maybe like if it wouldn't be.
Wait,
the first
hold
time,
on.
but-
Wait, hold on. What if, and Paige, you made a good point here. He knows that season 2 is going to be rewritten, right? He understands that he's not connected to it. He could literally just be saying this.
That's what I like. Again, like, is he at that point in his career that he is lying? Not even to like the haters of him, to his fans, to the people that are supporting him, these people that are going to be buying his upcoming content. Is he going to be like, "Hey guys, I'm blatantly lying to you"?
I mean, he could. I mean, there's nothing is stopping him from doing it, technically. All right, let's talk about Stephen Amell. All right,
Who?
so Stephen Amell, who a lot of people have said was a scab during the whole writer strike thing. And
No. He was a scat.
Right. Well, I'm saying people were saying he was a scab. Was cast in a, I would say, semi-high profile spinoff because Suits was doing really well on Netflix.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Suits LA was canceled before the finale, which I think is crazy. Like the finale aired, they were promoting the finale online, and people were like clowning it. They're like, "Why are you even promoting this at this point? Like the show's not getting renewed." I will say though, apparently they're looking for a pickup somewhere else. Like if somebody else wants to buy it.
If Netflix was smart, they would raise their hand.
Yeah,
Well,
because
Darren,
it goes along with.
you just put your finger on the problem there, Darren.
I mean, he had, ever since he lost like Arrow, he's having a hard time keeping shows.
Well,
Afloat.
the thing about it was Paige made a good, well, actually, let's read this quote first, and then we'll talk about the details behind it or whatever. Suits had a very short run, but it really has not resonated the way we thought. He's talking about Suits LA. There could be many, many reasons why. People are speculating why it hasn't resonated, but it's not really just showing the potential for growth for us in the future, unfortunately, says NBC Universal. I want to point out they also canceled a bunch of shows, right, Lance?
They
Like,
did.
how many, what got canceled?
Yeah, for they canceled Lopez versus Lopez, which was in his third season. Night
Right.
Court, which was
That's
in his
it.
third season.
Mhm.
Found, and
There was another one, wasn't there?
this
Irrational.
The Irrational, the Jessica Martin
Yeah.
show.
Right. So apparently, and also
Or basketball.
they're doing more, more sports content, which is exactly what the CW is saying isn't pulling money for them right now.
Yeah.
But you got to think about it. TNT lost that contract with like the NBA.
Yeah.
Right.
So them putting it over on NBC makes sense because they're going to be airing that stuff on Sundays to try to, like close out their gap in the programming block. But they did pick up their last two shows and picked up the Tracy Morgan, a new Tracy Morgan comedy.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that one. I don't know what the name of it is though, but I did see it.
They're picking up what they want. They're picking up what they want to pick up and just leaving like stuff like Found. Of course, ratings are going to drop within within like a first to second season. Not everybody has cable.
Right.
They just went with the easy pickings.
I want to put this out there. Then I'm going to take my cat out of the room here. She's being annoying.
Jenkins, is that the comedy?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I want to talk more about my thoughts on Stephen Amell here, but I want to just put this out there. Like, TV networks need to scale back what they expect for these shows now. I don't think they're being realistic about what is working and what isn't working. Immediately dumping a bunch of scripted content for sports content, it's going to eventually be the death of these networks. They've already scaled back episode counts. Now they're scaling back shows in general. They are fast tracking their death.
And think about this. And I'm noticing a pattern as we're getting to the end of this television season. So far, the show Cedric the Entertainer show, The Neighborhood, they aired their final 2 episodes as a 2-hour season finale. They're doing the same thing for SWAT. They're airing those last 2 episodes as a 2-hour series finale. They're even doing that on streaming. Crunchyroll is getting ready to dump the last 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Daima at the exact same time.
All right, I'll be back.
Hurry up and get it.
Talk
get
amongst
rid
yourselves.
of it. So I'm like, it's the way they're handling TV is weird this year. Like
it is, and can I just say like why I think this is so stupid, right? Because like this show in particular got greenlit because it was doing so well on Netflix last summer. Everyone was watching it. It was the show of the summer, a show that had been over for like, what was it, like 8-9 years, something crazy, right? It was over for a long time. And it's like, by canceling this, you are depriving what would have been its prime audience. You let the whole season come out, you send it to streaming service. Obviously, it'd be like, would this be Peacock? What streaming service would it be?
It's on Peacock.
It'd be Peacock. So put the season out and then promote it. Put out ads in like the new spinoff. All the episodes are streaming right now because I would guarantee most of the audience that was watching Suits all summer last year doesn't know this exists.
Yeah,
I don't know this is a
this
thing.
on Peacock. I watch it on Peacock, so it's there. Like you see it every time you log into Peacock. It's right there in front of your face.
And a lot of the ones who did know, they were like saying, "Oh, well, this isn't our, Suits. Amell should just, like he lost his way after Oliver Queen, things like that. He's just trying to be this. He's just trying to be that."
My thing is, they brought back the original cast members in this show.
Yeah. And
All right.
this deprives. This is the thing that haunts me a little bit. Like if you look back at all of these iconic shows when they were announced, imagine like half those shows get canceled after 1 season, 2 seasons. Imagine if Suits got canceled after 1 season. It wouldn't have that iconicness that it does now, and you are depriving for this to even have a chance to find an audience, and that I think is the ultimately underlining problem with today's TV culture.
I mean, you can even go as far back as 2023 with the CSI revival, which was legitimately greenlit and given 3 seasons because everybody loved it.
I actually think
Cancel it and say
if I were showrunners, I would be pushing for a 2-season minimum when I pitch a show.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because you sometimes need that second season to get people like really hooked on something, because the attention span of the public is very short for the most part when it comes to these shows, and it's going to take a long time to get back to where we were. So I would be like a lot of cartoons, like it's crazy. Cartoons get greenlit for like 4 seasons when they come out the gate. I think more TV showrunners should push for a second season renewal based on a lower expectation, or to sign on at all. Like, give me 2 seasons, and if it doesn't work, then just throw us out the door. You know what I mean?
And then write those seasons as if it's the ending. Even if it is like a 1 season, be like, okay, I will write 23 episodes, and if this is it, then that's the whole show. But if I get more, okay, let's move forward from there.
Because that way you're guaranteed that people can still go back and enjoy the 2 seasons that you wrote without having to worry about it.
Yeah,
Paige,
with those 2 seasons, you still have a chance to at least tell a complete story.
Yeah.
And if they add more onto those, then you can expand it. But like, with those 1 season show that I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, for anybody who watched October Faction, really good start, and then like it ended really, really strong. It's like, oh, okay, like what's gonna happen next? And boom, canceled after 1 season. It's like, well, damn it, this sucks.
Paige, do you think, because we talked a lot about Stephen Amell when the writer strike stuff was going on, do you think that had anything to do with this, or do you think it's just people like connecting the dots? So
like it's the same thing with like a lot of the other stuff. Like maybe like 0.5% of the people that watched it knew any of that. The issue is that Suits was always, at the end of the day, a binge show. Like the actual show when it was airing wasn't popular. Like it was on USA Network. Like the only show that was actually popular on USA was like Mr. Robot. Like that was it. I think it was the only show that actually got decent ratings.
Yeah.
Suits was a Netflix show. Like, and that's the reason Suits LA happened, because it killed it on Netflix like after the show ended. So it'll be interesting, because I'd assume this, like, it's going to go to Peacock, but it wouldn't surprise me if it goes to Netflix maybe in like three months or something like that. And it
might do really well, and Netflix comes back to them in like a little bit of time and says, hey, we want to pick up a second season.
Netflix would be dumb if they don't at least try and get this. I think they would be morons, or try and do a new one.
Because the thing is, if Netflix picks this up, they could do the second season as a binge model and call it a day.
It would be a hit.
Yeah.
It would do so well.
I think they screwed themselves out of anybody wanting to pick it up, because they also put out a different statement they put out a different statement in this article, because last year, if you remember, they moved the Elliot Stabler Law and Order Organized Crime to Peacock.
Okay.
So the question was going around, like, why can't you, the shows you canceled, why can't you just move
because
them
they get stuck
Peacock?
on the Peacock streaming service. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He said, why can't you just move them to Peacock and just make them Peacock originals?
Right.
They said, we had those discussions. We basically just didn't want to. But you just did it.
Yeah.
And then you pick up your remaining 2 shows, which arguably they were in their freshman year. The Hunting Party and Brilliant Minds. Both shows are great, but they were in their freshman year, and their ratings were indeed worse than Found and Suits than all of these other shows.
Right.
So it's like y'all just the same way CBS did CSI and So Help Me Todd. They said, oh, we didn't have time. Like, you don't have a spring schedule. You can't put a show out on a Sunday night or something. Like if I was a showrunner, I wouldn't want to risk trying to get a show out there, because
not on network television. Not on network television.
Not on network.
I would approach anybody but network television.
I mean, Peacock's they should carry that fucking murder show.
Yeah.
That was the Kaylee Cuoco one, Eric.
Oh, the based on a true story.
Yeah, they canceled that.
Yeah, and I'm like, why? It's a good show. Like, what the fuck? That was one of the best new shows that I had seen in a long time.
And it left on a massive cliffhanger as well.
Yeah.
I think
so. Like, there's no replay for that. That's the other thing, is that when you cancel a show on a cliffhanger, you almost guarantee you're keeping it on your platform for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. What's the point?
I think more of these studios should start doing kind of like what those children networks are doing, where they make the show for their network television shows, but then they air it at the same time as the streaming shows, so you're covering both basics. Because like streaming is just clearly the future. That's where we are heading. That's where we're going. but they're not like gearing themselves for that environment yet. We're like, we're just going to keep going with this. Oh, it's not doing what we want. It's gone. It's like, no, like garner to your main audience, like we were talking about last week. Like if you had a thing where it's like, okay, we are producing this suit show, but then after the whole season air, we're like sending it to like Netflix or something, would do so much better. It just simply would.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move on from this, but we do have a couple super chats to answer first. The poll is live, you guys. Here's the options we have. What we're going to do since we hit the goal, you guys are amazing, and you're still donating. Thank you so much. John Walker did nothing wrong reaction. So there's a video explaining why John Walker did nothing wrong. People wanted me to react to it. You guys want me to do it? Vote on the poll for that. I haven't watched it yet, but people keep asking me in the comments to watch it, so I don't know. You pick a movie for me to review. I talked to earlier. I mentioned it in the chat with that. You guys will pick a movie. I will watch the movie and then I'll review the movie live with everybody. Anybody else has watched it? Cool. Worst sequels of all time, top 5 list, or worst prequels of all time, top 5 list. So those are the options for guys getting to the goal. So there we go. Look, Anthony, I did not say that John Walker did nothing wrong. There's apparently a video essay about John Walker doing nothing wrong. So
there was a really bad post I saw earlier where they were like, all right, like, who's the real Captain America? And it's like, there's only one Captain America, and there's only one that's on the Avengers team, and then the other one's Falcon. It's like, oh my god, like, it's so delusional. Hold on, let me pull it up really quickly.
Technically, right now, there is one Captain America that's an Avenger, and there is a Falcon. I'm kidding.
Let me see if I can... Wait. I think it was on, like, Comic Book Cringe or something crazy.
Oh,
that
I was like,
surprise me.
oh,
that explains a lot.
The poll is live. Yes, RL Morales. The poll is live. I just messaged Paige. I was like, what happened? Did he say something? I missed it.
Nope.
It's probably too crowded in here. He was like, it's too many people.
It's probably his headphones. It probably.
No. Apparently he was gooning and he hit his router. So he'll be back. He'll be back.
He hit his router.
Okay. Let's see.
I just sent you that photo in the.
Is it the John Walker did nothing wrong thing?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
It's like kind of similar to that. I saw that and I rolled my eyes.
All right, one of these pictures is Captain America and Avenger. The other is the Falcon.
Oh,
Darth
this is what
Spidey
I meant.
reposted this. Is he doing it ironically or unironically? Like, was this him?
No. This was on Comic Book Cringe.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Okay.
like they're posting
Yeah.
it to like make fun
Right,
of this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Aaron Sparrow, is that a podcast? That name sounds familiar.
His profile tells me everything I need to know. That
Oh.
He
looks
clarifies he's a jerk.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I just was wondering if he makes content. A lot of times when people with blue check marks are content creators trying to get money off of tweets, so that's why I was just wondering if that's what he was doing.
I just I see this and I think it's very fun. Like we're like going into like a very interesting era with John Walker, and I bet you'll talk about this when you react to that video and stuff. But like, he was so likable in that movie that they're now using that as like cannon fodder for Sam.
But
and
the thing is, though, that John Walker's story, even if you follow his comic book story, was never to replace Captain America. He was, but once we got beyond that, he was a separate character altogether.
Right.
And at that point, people hated him.
Yeah.
People hated him when he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and they're like, oh, this is just Walmart Captain America. But now, now that they've seen what the whole story was leading to, they've changed their minds there. So just wait before you get all in your fucking feelings about these things. And wait to see what the story is.
I actually like what they did with him in Thunderbolts.
Same.
But I still don't want him as Captain America.
Right.
And I still think that what he did was really fucked up. So it's like, we can totally send him on a path where he has to deal with those demons in his past. Yeah. And I get that. But he is still not Captain America.
No. 100%. Yeah, like, it's like coming out of, like, episode 3 of Star Wars or something and being like, like, Darth Vader's a Jedi. It's like, no, you can like Darth Vader. Like, that's fine. But you can't say, like, you are justifying him to the, like, you love him so much that you are lying about what his character is.
I actually think a lot of people that say this have forgotten the weight of that scene from the show and what actually happened.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because it's not that that Steve Rogers never killed anybody. It's not that Sam has never killed anybody. Of course, that's going to happen. You're a superhero. You're fighting battles. Some of those battles require you to be vicious. It's just, it really is. That's the way it is, right? The issue is how it happened with John Walker and what went down. He was outside of U.S. territory as Captain America. He was fighting people, part of the Flag Smashers, which still don't like that group. Was it Flag Smashers?
Yeah,
the whole group.
It was
them, right?
Flag.
I couldn't remember if it was them or if it was like an offshoot of them. But he was fighting them. He went after someone that was not guilty of doing anything in that moment. And even if he was, Captain America brutally murdered him outside of U.S. soil in front of everybody with a shield that's painted the colors of the American flag.
Yeah.
And they really set you. They've made it clear. I think that John Walker is not that same. That he does not have that same moral compass that somebody like Steve Rogers does. And the way that I say they made it clear pretty early. Just look at the way that his Captain America suit from Falcon and the Winter Soldier was designed. You notice the one color that costume lacked. There was absolutely no white on that costume.
Yeah, because the white was on his face.
Right. But like that color has been, historically associated with purity, and like that whole symbol, the whole purity aspect of that symbol, John Walker had none.
Right.
So they were going to tell you right away, hey, this is not, a replacement of Steve Rogers. This is not somebody who has Steve Rogers' moral compass at all. And maybe this is a hot opinion. So far, not only do I like what they're doing with John Walker, so far I like what they've done with Sam as Captain America. I mean, there are some issues out here and there. I don't think that they needed to repeat some of the I don't want the shield bits that they did from the show. Like that should have just been a movie to tie all that up. Yeah, but like
I mean, I just double checked with the comic books, like the out of continuity reason, like behind the creation of the suit, was they wanted him to wear black to not only distinguish him from like the Steve Rogers Captain America who he had replaced for a while, but also to allow him to be a more brutal version of that character without wearing red, white, and blue. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
Because he carries a gun. He doesn't need a gun. He's a super soldier, but he carries a gun.
Yeah.
And Steve hasn't carried a gun since, or I don't think it's been a part of his suit since the first film.
Yeah, the first Avenger.
And I mean, he's picked up guns, but he's not carrying a gun. But that's what John Walker does.
And when he does use a gun, he doesn't actually kill people with the gun. He like sprays it. Like basically in Avengers, when they were doing the fixing the wing, basically he held the gun but sprayed it. He didn't like aim at the guy and killed him.
Well, people are going to be big mad, especially the racist people are going to be big mad because apparently, let me remove this here. It just popped up here that in case you missed it, Sam Wilson will lead the Avengers in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War. This comes from Collider. So
Captain America leading the Avengers?
Yeah, I mean, surprise, right? They teased this at the end of Thunderbolt, so we knew this was coming. So everybody that keeps wanting John Walker to be Captain America, it's not. I said to Darren, there's a possibility they will do a Captain America movie that has John Walker in that movie with the other people that are Captain America, but John Walker will never be Captain America. They will bring Steve Rogers back before they use John Walker as Captain America.
They will make the 70-year-old Isaiah Bradley Captain America.
Absolutely.
John Walker.
100%.
He will be Captain America in death. I think that's what they might do. Like, I think, and I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Like, I think I think John Walker's arc in these Avengers movies is about him actually trying to prove himself to Sam and like the rest of the team, and Sam being like, no, fuck no, this guy murdered in cold blood. And I think at the end of the movie, it's going to be him like putting his life on the line and him being like, I guess he was Captain America. Okay.
I know people.
The same thing that Cap says to Tony.
I'm about to hop out.
You're not
okay, Lance. We'll see you later.
See you, Lance. It's good to see you. But it's that same sort of thing that Cap says to Tony in Avengers 1. Like, you're not the guy to make the sacrifice play. Walker will probably do that same sort of thing and prove himself to not only the eyes of the Avengers, but also he'll be somebody worthwhile in his own eyes again, because you saw him battling his own demons and thunderbolts. He'll probably be a hero not only in their eyes, but also his.
I actually think people are forgetting, whether you like the movie or not, the way Brave New World ends, it really does establish the public's love for Sam as Captain America based on the way he handles things. Think about what he did at the end of that film. Not only did he take down a corrupt government with the president that was basically destroying the White House, but he did so without being violent towards anyone. It was just him versus this Hulk. And he did so without any super serum. He stood the Hulk down and basically talked him down, and did so as himself, like as Sam Wilson in that moment. And the public resonated. The public in continuity with the MCU has resonated with it. I'm not going to talk about the dude bros on here that complain about it. But, I mean, the thing about it is that's just the reality of it. He has been well received within continuity of the MCU. And there's another Falcon. Joaquin is the Falcon now.
Joaquin Torres.
Yeah. So there we go. I mean, that's just the reality of it. We have some super chats here.
I was going to say, too, for all those people that are saying that, like, it should have been Bucky as the, Captain America or whatever, everybody making those complaints, you can like Bucky as a character. He is a war criminal.
Yes.
And, there would need to be a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Public relations to things to correct him.
Public perception, I guess, or change in public perception.
I mean, they didn't even take him seriously as a congressman.
Right.
How is he going to be Captain America when they didn't even take him seriously in that role?
Right. Not only that, he's also a bad leader. Like, like we love Bucky, but in that movie, he was like, "Well, I guess you could do this." I actually
think they made I think they purposely showed us why Bucky is not the leader of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And why he shouldn't have been Captain America.
We have a whole separate team. Bucky is the most experienced. He probably should be the leader of this team, and he's still not the leader of this team.
Well, on paper, you can have everything it takes to be a leader, but if that it factor isn't there, like that Steve Rogers it factor, like that Tony Stark it factor, if you don't have that, you cannot be the leader of a team. It's one of the things that holds someone like Bruce Banner back from leading the team. He just doesn't, even with all of his powers, he is not a leader. It's the same reason why Thor isn't leader of a team. You know what I mean? Like, he could not lead a team.
What's funny is
he led a bunch of kids, but that doesn't count.
we had kind of like a comic book tie-in with Revengers, which Thor was technically the leader of that group. That was.
What do you mean in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie or the Guardians of the Galaxy run? Or which one are you talking about?
Thor.
In Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Thor in a small group is okay. Thor leading a group like the Avengers is a different story.
Yeah.
Like, think about Thor trying to lead a group of people, of smart people. Like, I don't see that happening. And the Avengers were kind of a big joke anyway, but that's fine.
Yeah, he's like one of the big guns.
Yeah.
But not the person firing the gun.
It's also kind of funny, like, you have, like, a Captain Marvel, which I don't think she's a leader in that sense either.
I actually disagree. I think Captain Marvel is a much more skilled leader than even Bucky is.
Yeah, I'll say that too.
I think that the issue with Captain Marvel is she's a little bit self-centered. Like, I think she's very, like...
Yeah.
But here's the deal, guys. That's how she is in the comics, too.
Yep.
Like, she's very, very... what is the word I'm looking for here? I'm trying to, like, put it and make it make sense. She's a very selfish character. Like, she's very much focused on herself in everything she does. I mean, you get that in the first Captain Marvel movie. That's why her and Nick Fury butt heads so much, is because of how hard-headed and selfish she is. That doesn't make her a bad person. It just makes her a different type of leader. She has to have different qualities. It's really, really difficult, even in the comics, to replace Steve Rogers as the leader of a team.
But
he just has a certain something about him that makes him a great
because
leader.
Even before the Avengers, he led the World War II team. So even before you lead this group of other superheroes that have their own distinctive backgrounds and histories, he still led a bunch of soldiers in the war.
Yeah. But, we can have a conversation about that as we go on with when we talk about the MCU moving forward. Here we go. Naruto. Oh, is Darren AFK? Yeah, we'll get back to that. $5 super chat here. Did you see Black Mirror Bandersnatch got yeeted off of Netflix today? Yeah, and a lot of people were confused on why. It isn't that Netflix wanted to get rid of it. It's just that they never did do much with that interactive technology that they had, and I think they're getting rid of their games too, if I remember correctly, because a lot of that technology is preventing them from being on all formats. Like some TVs it doesn't work right with some televisions and stuff like that, so they're doing away with it. I liked Bandersnatch. I watched it several times and did all the different endings and stuff like that, but it just doesn't work with the new format. If they were going to bring it back, they would have to do it as like separate movies, like 3 or 4 different movies where the decisions just happen without you hitting buttons. But then that kind of defeats the purpose of what Bandersnatch was. But I don't know. I'm sure that what will happen is it will end up somewhere online where pirates can go around and plunge the seas and find it. But yeah. Let's see.
Never seen any of those, so I have nothing to say on them.
Yeah. Why is my mouse is having a moment? Okay, we'll do it over here. All right. Go down, scroll.
Do you have like 2 separate computers set up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you had like a split screen.
No, I have a separate computer because when I'm doing music production on this computer, sometimes I want to be able to just do something different over here. Also, this is my gaming computer. I bought a computer for gaming years ago. It actually needs to be updated. This one is older than this one, but this is the one I stream on. Anonymous here with the 199 Super Chat. Any updates on My Adventures with Superman Season 3? I haven't seen anything. Does anybody know what's happening with that?
I have not. Like we heard a couple months ago that like they were doing like voice record actually right out of season 2. They said that they were renewed for season 3 and 4, and they were doing the voice recording. And like people were telling me, no, it's going to be this year. It's going to be this year, and maybe it is going to be this year. But like my thought of it is like it's probably going to take a little while since they're doing seasons 3 and 4 now. Just like it took many years to do
I also think they want to.
Presumably-
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Jake.
presumably it's that same crew who's doing the My Adventures with Green Lantern thing too. So
They've got two
That's
things to
also
work
a
on.
good point.
Yeah. I'm so excited about that though.
Yeah,
That's
I know,
gonna be
right?
so
I'm
good,
loving
so-
that.
And if they're smart, what they will do is they will alternate back and forth. There's like 1 year it's Superman, 1 year it's Green Lantern.
that would be
one
really
year
good.
Yeah, and
it's
then
Superman.
like the next year it's another character maybe.
I want to say this. I think though, if we think outside of the workload, it's possible that they don't want anything Superman related happening right now except for this movie.
Yeah.
No news on anything. Just we need to
Yeah.
focus on Superman. I think that's a big possibility.
But with that logic, you can also apply it to Supergirl next year because she is now a like main regular.
I did
going
see
into
that they
season 3.
finished filming on that like this past week, right?
They did.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I saw someone mention this. Spider-Man and Supergirl come out a month apart. Supergirl's done, and Spider-Man hasn't even started yet.
Yeah. All right, so we have a couple super chats. We've got a bunch of stuff still to talk about, and we're already an hour 40 minutes in. So if people got to go, I get it, but I still got a bunch of stuff to get through. So this is for Darren here. Unfortunately for Darren, Doctor Who this week had a spoiler for the Jodie Whittaker era Doctor. Did you not see that one?
Judy, no. I'm kind of jumping on as like a new fan coming into season the latest.
Oh, gotcha.
But
I liked this past week's episode though. I actually did. Remember I told you I wasn't vibing with it? This past week's episode.
I'm loving
the
this season, man. Like I think this season's been an absolute banger. But I didn't catch the spoiler, so it kind of went right over my head. So I'll be good for running.
Okay, well, no one in the chat say what it is then if he didn't catch it. So there we go. All right, Lone Wolf here with a $5 super chat. This is going to be interesting. I'm curious. Can you rank these shows worst to best in your opinion? This is tough. This is tough. So I love Parks and Rec. That's going to be best for me. I love that cast. I just love that show. After that would probably be It's Always Sunny. I'm going best to worst, so I'm doing it backwards. After that would probably be It's Always Sunny, and then Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then The Office. That would be my order. That's best to worst. Sorry, I did it the opposite way. I'm sorry.
I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. One of my favorite shows of all time. I have yet to see Parks and Recs, although I hear it's incredible.
It's fun. You should check it out. Binge it. Yeah.
I've done 2 episodes of The Office, and I was like, "This is awful." I'm not.
That's why it was at the bottom of my list. Yeah.
And Sunny, I've seen like 3 seasons of Sunny. It's good, but it's not my type of show.
So Brooklyn Nine-Nine is number 1 for you.
Oh, 100%. I love Brooklyn.
Yeah. Jake, do you have a choice? Have you watched all these?
So yeah, mine is almost the same as Darren's. I've got one difference. So I'll go the opposite way too. Fuck it. Mine is from best to worst. Mine is It's Always Sunny, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Parks and Rec, and The Office.
Yeah.
I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Love It's Always Sunny. I like the Parks and Rec, but I've just never been as drawn to it as some of the other ones. And kind of like Darren, I watched a couple episodes of The Office. I was like, this sucks. And then a friend of mine goes, well, yeah, watch the first season, then it gets good. I said, if I have to watch an entire season of a TV show for it to be good, that's a problem.
Which one was? Which one?
The Office.
Season.
Yeah.
I get
season one's bad, but then past that it's good. It's like if the first season is bad, that's a problem.
If Paigey were here, he would tell you that he has things about the Office, because there's 3 different versions of The Office depending on what country you're in. He's got actors he loves from one version versus the storylines another version. It's this mismatch thing or whatever. But
that's kind of like a sitcom thing, Jake, that I realized with the more I watch. Sometimes season 1 of a lot of those shows kind of suck. Because I think Parks and Recs, from what I hear, is kind of the same.
It's rough. Yeah, I will admit.
It's just
I don't have memories of that one though. So
as a comedy, I sometimes feel like you have to spend a little bit of time for them to find their groove as a creative team. But I also agree. It's I don't want to watch a whole season of mid just to get to an eventual good show.
Okay, so
really, really quickly, they also they put up posters for the spin-off today as well for The Office. It was the paper.
Oh, really?
Or yeah.
3W, did you watch these?
Yes.
Okay, what is your order?
From worst to best, it's The Office, It's Always Sunny, Park and Rec, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
You guys love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's
Brooklyn's
your
great.
shit. Yeah. That's all right. That's fair. Okay. We also have a $4.99 super chat from Staggervort. It says, you probably already talked about this, but I want to know your thoughts on Sergeant Rock presumably not moving forward. I think it was a week and a half ago we talked about this. We didn't really go into too much detail because there's not a lot of information about it. Darren, I think you talked about the landscape of where movies are getting released and what you thought the reason was for this. I don't remember what you said, but I remember I agreed with you. I was like, yeah, whatever Darren said there. I think because I thought this is an easy movie for them to make. They could do it in a very short amount of time. It wouldn't cost a lot of money. But it seems like they're pumping the brakes on a few of these things. Do you think it's nervousness about Superman or no?
I mean, from what you heard, I think it was just production stuff. I know that that article came across very clickbaity, where it's this is done, it's not moving forward. It's no, it's just pause. They're just taking a little break. They're re-examining it. I think they're rewriting the script and all that stuff. Yeah. I honestly think this will still happen. I just think they're maybe wanting to rework it, which I personally prefer doing this over what they did with Blade for 5 years, where it's this thing's coming out, guys. It's coming out, and this is hey, it's no longer on the current table. We are reworking it, and we will get back to you in a couple years. That's how these projects should be done. I think if it's not working, then shelf it for a little bit, and you can always come back to it.
Yeah, because with that whole Blade thing, Marvel was not only trying to, appease everybody else, they were also trying to convince themselves that they could put something out when they couldn't.
And I think Blade's another thing. Everyone's it's dead. I don't think it's dead. I think now that we're reworking everything, they're focusing on this quality. I think once the multiverse saga is done, that's going to be one of the first things they focus on. I think they'll be okay, we're done with all this bullshit. Let's focus on this project.
How crazy would that be, though? You have a project that is meant to be one of the first things in the start of one saga, and is pushed all the way back to maybe midway or a little bit of the way into the next one.
Yeah.
I could see this being the jumping off point for the Mutant Saga, which I know it would be a weird for the Mutant Saga to be Blade, but I think that's so disconnected from everything in your timeline because all the cast will be filming Avengers and stuff like that. So they're going to need something that's kind of small scale, something more intimate, something that they can film while everyone else is doing this huge crossover. Blade isn't a bad choice for that, I feel like.
Yeah, because that was kind of how it worked with Endgame and Far From Home, because Tom Holland was in Endgame for all of 10 minutes,
right?
So a lot of his attention was able to be on that Spider-Man movie that he was filming.
So apparently, one of the other topics in the video here is Disney Plus unexpectedly gained 1.4 million subscribers in March 2025 quarter, defying forecasts that predicted a decline. The surge was mainly due to Daredevil Born Again, Moana 2, and Mufasa the Lion King.
Yeah.
So we saw an uptick in Disney Plus, and this goes against the narrative that Disney is dying. Every month Disney is dying, X-Men is dying, Pixar is dying, like everything's dying. It just goes to show that like it's almost like that world exists in a bubble here on social media, that it's just a little niche, like hate-fueled outrage community that doesn't really know what they're talking about the vast majority of the time. And it sucks that we have to put up with them, but when you see stuff like this, you're like, well, they're not right. They're obviously wrong.
Right. Not only, you know, like when it comes to like there being a decline, but whenever, I mean, because there's been a thing with Marvel on this too, like with Thunderbolts, people, they say, oh, you know, well, sorry guys, Brave New World, that was a flop, even though it wasn't. And then they're like, oh, Thunderbolts is going to flop right behind it. It's like, no, do like 3 minutes of research and then you'll see you're wrong about that.
Yeah. I think, and like Disney, I think, is kind of the worst competitor of this. They've trained their audience so much. I have so many friends that like is not as obsessed with these big franchises as we are, but they still like them. Of like, I don't have the time, the money to go see this movie in theaters, but I will wait 4 months and I will see it on streaming. And I think
this has been very good for Disney Plus.
Yes,
like this is one of the things that actually has over time benefited them, and that is this putting their movies on their streaming service for their viewers to watch and charging people to watch it other places. So if you watch it on Prime or you watch it on YouTube, you pay to watch it on YouTube, you watch it on any other platform, Apple TV Plus, where you have to pay for these, they're getting the money from there, but they're actually hoping people will just come over and become a subscriber for Disney Plus.
And I really like their strategy with keeping their stuff on their streaming service.
Yes,
that is true.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not just their stuff. Also, it's Fox stuff as well. So all of it is like there for you to watch, and that is something that HBO has rejected. HBO Max has literally rejected keeping all their stuff on the same streaming service, and it's baffling to me. Now, to David Zaslav's, I guess I don't want to give him props for this, but he's able to turn over money by getting rid of content.
Yeah.
But you see here, Disney is actually doubling and tripling down on providing this content for their viewers, and it's actually working for them.
Yeah,
and
it's gaining them more.
Yeah, and like I think they have been just becoming a better service, because for the first several years they were struggling because they have a fantastic catalog. That is like their big strength. They have 100 years worth of catalog of their own stuff, of Marvel, of Star Wars, of Fox, of all these various other things. They had a great catalog, but they didn't have a good original content.
Right.
And now we are finally seeing stuff like Percy Jackson, like Daredevil, like Andor. You have, now that Hulu's part of it, you have like The Bear. We have Phineas and Ferb coming out a little bit. Like there are now actually things people are like, oh, I want to see that weekly. I want to
be fair, Hulu was, in my opinion, the biggest Netflix competitor. Even though it wasn't worldwide, in the United States, it had the most content other than Netflix for the longest time. But now that Disney Plus has got a much larger market, that Hulu content is getting out to other places that it wasn't getting out before, because Hulu was not necessarily in every country. So that was a big deal as well. All right. So let's talk about Superman stuff. Now, the trailer comes out Wednesday? Yeah. We're seeing some promotional stuff come out now for the movie. Finally, there's a big promotional push for it. I'm glad to see this. I think it's really good. I'm also noticing, and this is why I put it in the thumbnail, I feel like Krypto is being pushed very heavily in this film. And I want to ask you guys, we're going to take take a look at a couple pictures and some of the stuff that people are saying about it. What do you think about all of the focus on Krypto? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What are your thoughts?
Oh, go ahead, throw it up. I'm sorry.
Dog's best friend. Man's best friend. basically, they're pushing a thing that a lot of people like, which is animals. And I think that's a smart. Hey, cat.
Speaking of animals, yeah.
70 new views because of a cat.
I mean, we called this like 2 years ago. Like we said that like this damn dog was going to be the focus of the marketing push. This was going to be the thing that everyone wanted to see. I think it's
Groot
smart.
all
I think
over
it's
again.
going to work. People are going to buy these Funko Pop. People are going to buy these pillows and these, these stuffed animals and the toys and the all these various things. Listen, does it come across a little desperate? Oh, kind of, a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think in this landscape of all of this stuff, I think this is the best move. I think this is the right move. I mean, we see some of the top movies of all time. I mean, Lilo and Stitch this month is going to be massive because it's a cute little animal thing. We're going to see it next year with Mandalorian and Grogu. People love the cute little animal thing, right? Baby alien thing, right? So it's I think it's smart. I think it makes sense. And yeah, there's the outrage for it too.
There's so much outrage about this clip right here. So much outrage about this because Mr. Terrific is jumping around with Krypto.
I mean, it would basically be a whole marketing push like they did with Groot back in the Guardians. Like they marketed Volume 2 especially. There was so much Baby Groot merchandise. Hasbro was milking that stuff to no end. So it would be that same sort of thing here.
Yeah.
Also, this is I assume a commercial for the movie.
Right.
People are comparing Zack Snyder's Justice League movie where it's the climax of the movie to this scene, and it's that is the that is the pinnacle of your universe. That is the best your universe will ever be. And this is just an ad. This is an ad for that, and I'm still I don't know which one I like better. I'm still kind of but it's a dog though.
I actually think, and I stand by this, even though I I have to say this every time because I'm sure the Snyder people were oh, he's just hating on it or whatever. I have defended Man of Steel for a long time because I think it's a fun movie to me. I enjoy watching that movie.
Yeah.
I have probably watched that movie 50 times. I've watched it so many times because sometimes I'll put it on when I'm playing games or something in the background because I've seen it so much. I just kind of listen to it or whatever. Visually, I like it. I don't think it's a great Superman movie. That's the same thing Paigey says. It doesn't feel like a great Superman movie. It is a good movie. It's got sci-fi elements, especially the first 30 minutes is basically a sci-fi movie. The first 30 minutes of that. I think it was leading up to what could be a good Superman movie if we would have gotten Man of Steel 2, which we never got. But the problem is that movie was so dark and dour and the color was ripped from it. It wasn't a bright movie. It was a very gray, dark movie. Zack Snyder loves to do that with films usually. I mean, he put out a black and white version of Justice League.
Well, that's how he shoots the movie. He shoots the movie in black and white, and then he adds color.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, what this movie is showing me is there's three things that I think of when I see the promotion for this: fun, colorful, and it has heart. Those are three things that were missing from the DCEU, except for a few movies here and there. I think Wonder Woman 84 was in that vein. Didn't nail it. But definitely the James Gunn stuff, the Suicide Squad, 100%. Yeah. Peacemaker, 100%. It's violent, but it was still fun. You know what I mean?
And then they credit where credit is due. You can debate the quality of this movie all
Birds
day
of
long.
Prey.
I was going to say Birds of Prey, but when it comes to the heart elements, some of that stuff was there in The Flash. You can debate the quality of the film all day long.
Yeah.
But it did have its heart elements to it.
Well, I think that was the beginning of them trying to change the vibe of the DCEU. I think that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
You also give too much color when you have Wonder Woman 84.
I think this movie is going to probably alienate the people that want that Man of Steel vibe. I think it's the complete opposite of that in every way possible. And I think it's a good thing. I think they need this. They need to try something different from what they had before. My Adventures with Superman and Superman and Lois show that you can tell very different stories with Superman, and they're both good. Yeah. Those two things are very different. My Adventure with Superman is a fun, youthful, brand new take on the character, as if it was just made in 2020. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. Superman and Lois is a Superman who has a family and kids and just wants to live the life with this family of his and doesn't want to have to do all the things he does.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like a spinoff of, I know people hate Dean Cain, but the spinoff of Lois and Clark, how they ended the show. Basically, there's a kid.
Oh, yeah. But
Well, kinda, Eric,
this
to
to
your
me,
point, like My Adventures
Yeah.
of Superman and Superman and Lois, they're both very different stories, but at their core, they're both still Superman. Like,
yes.
they did not do anything that sacrifices the identity, anything that loses a bit of the character identity. It still feels like Superman.
Yeah. And I feel like this movie, to me, the more I see of it, I think it's got the right vibe. And believe it or not, in the era that we're in, and I know some people might disagree with me on this, vibes are really what matters.
Yeah.
When people go to see something, they want to have a good time. They want to walk out of the theaters feeling like they had a lot of fun and that they would go back and see it again, or they want to talk about it with their friends. I think we're out of this era of people going to the movies to feel miserable when they leave. I don't think people want to do that anymore. You know what I mean?
I mean, look at Thunderbolts right now, right? Like, I think that's doing so well because it is such a it's weird because it is actually quite a sad movement. I feel like you feel a little sad, but it is such a fun environment, and I think for this universe to succeed, I think this movie to succeed, they need to find a new audience, right? People like us are obviously going to go see this movie. DC obviously has a audience, not a large enough audience for the blockbuster to count, and that's what we've been seeing over the last 5 years.
And a Superman movie needs to be a blockbuster.
It needs to be accessible for people who don't like superhero movies, people who tuned out of DC. You have to bring people back in, people who gave up after like Wonder Woman 2 kind of era. Like so many people just like, I'm done with DC because they've done this or this or this or this. This needs to be, hey kids, let's go watch this new superhero movie without the baggage, without all the stuff that's been holding it back. And I think that's exactly what they're doing. I think that's why they're marketing dogs, because everybody loves dogs.
That's what all those Timverse cartoons did back in the day. Like, they brought in a bunch of people who weren't fans of that stuff, ironically, but because of all the stuff that they included, like whether it's the Batman, Superman, and then they brought in Justice League Unlimited. Something in those cartoons resonated with everybody who watched it, and that's what kept them. And that's what this new universe needs to do. Like, not everything is going to resonate with everybody, but people are going to find those things that they can attach to.
Yeah.
So Darth Zen says, I really don't agree with that. Vibes being more important than anything else is how the world is in its broken state, and then follows that up with make DC movies like Minecraft. That's not at all what I'm saying. When I say it's more important than anything else, I don't even know if that's the exact phrasing that I use. Maybe I did. I would say that I think we're in a situation now where people don't want to feel helpless and miserable and I don't know, emotionally stressed out. Like, I don't think that's what people want when they go to see entertainment. I think that if you look at those DC EU movies, a lot of them did feel very rough, like in terms of the way you feel when you're watching them. I don't think this movie is going to have all of that stress in it like the rest of those films. I think it's going to be a fun film in the sense that Aquaman was a fun movie, or the sense like Guardians of the Galaxy was a fun movie. Those movies are fun. They don't have to break boundaries. They don't have to change the world. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying they just need to be fun movies that people feel good about when they come out of it.
And
There's a way you can think about that too, just to make this kind of an easy comparison. This movie needs to do now what Spider-Man 2002 did after 9/11, because everybody was feeling just so helpless and everything like that around that time, and that movie kind of brought everybody back into a little bit more of an optimistic, mindset. And with what has been going on in the world for the past couple of years, the world could use a reinvigoration like that again.
100%. And I do think it's a culture thing, because 10 years ago, what you're describing, Eric, is what we were asking for. People wanted the more gritty, more grounded, more serious.
Watchmen really ushered that in. The Watchmen movie really was the beginning of that, I think.
Watchmen, and also the Dark Knight trilogy. After that came out, and everyone wanted the
because they wanted superheroes to feel real.
Yes.
I think we're getting back to the era of superheroes don't have to feel like real people. They can be over the top. They can be 100%. Colorful. They can be outrageous. They can be they can be universe breaking type characters. Yes. Like people are okay with that.
And yet you still connect to them in some way.
Yes.
that also, but also I can also see a world where it's like if studios are seeing that, they're like, okay, cool, they move too far in that direction,
Exactly.
and we get a Love and Thunder, which I think is a good example of that.
Which,
Or a Batman and
interestingly
Robin,
enough, I think Chris Hemsworth said that they are not going to have Taika Waititi directing the next Thor movie.
That's already been
So,
said. Yeah.
so the universe has corrected itself on that one. And look, if they wanted to bring him back and do something like what he did with Ragnarok, I'd be okay with that. But I don't believe that he would ever have his hands tied with another Marvel movie. So there's that.
This
Let's
is
see.
Makes me worry.
Well,
about
okay.
I could go down a whole rabbit trail.
I don't report news. I just read stuff on my screen. I am not a news outlet or a scooper, Sanju. Let's see. So Darth Sin says, of course you could say Green Lantern movie was like that, and well, that also failed horribly because I don't want. Yeah, I'm gonna say like I'm not saying that if a movie is just a bad movie, that is going to fix the problems with everything else.
right.
I would just, like, if a movie is a bad movie, it's just a bad movie. But I'm going into Superman optimistic because I want to have fun. I want to have a good time. And I'm hoping that I will. But the movie could still be a bad movie. But I don't think it's going to be a bad movie because the movie wants to have fun and showcase Superman in a good way. That's the difference. That's the way I'm looking at it, personally.
This doesn't feel like, a lot of stuff you've gotten over the past couple of years where it's like, okay, this is just like a committee directed thing. This is the next thing we're putting in here as like next part of a piece.
Yeah.
We don't really care about this. We're moving on to the next one. It feels like it actually has heart and soul.
Yeah. And I get it. People are like, I understand. People are very, very, I don't want to say depressed, but the outlook in a lot of people's world right now is not high. But I think that's why a movie like this is super important. People want to be able, imagine this, okay? I'm just going to put you in the perspective that I have a lot of times when I go and see movies. For a couple of hours, nothing else matters except you and what you're watching on the screen in front of you. So you are having the worst day possible. Your car broke down, your checking account got overdrawn, you lost your credit card, your cell phone's it's completely broken, your iPad doesn't work, you dropped one of your AirPods down the drain or something, you spilled coffee all over your favorite shirt. You've had the worst day possible. For those next 2 hours that you're watching Superman, none of that affects you while you're in there watching that. You can disconnect from the world and experience a reality that you're not a part of. And that's what I like about movies.
And
unless something happens in the movie that directly ties to what happened to you.
Have a good night, Naruto. Take care.
And like we're seeing that in our culture a lot more. Like I know this kind of goes against your point here just a little bit, Eric, but like people do want mindless fun a little bit, which is why Minecraft did so well. And I'm not saying like what he's saying. I'm agreeing with you.
Totally. But it's also a fun movie. That's the point, though. Like I'm saying, like I think a fun movie has a higher chance of success, even if it's not a great movie, than a movie that's a bad movie. I think a bad movie is just a bad movie.
And like also I think we should also clarify, it's like I think the problem with a lot of movies is they fall into these formulas where it's like, okay, this movie did well with this formula, so we're all going to do that formula to be successful. And it's like it's like, oh, but this no longer works because we're doing everything that Superman did, and Superman made money. It's like, okay, now we gotta retract and like find what now works for the movie studios.
All right, we got some super chats here, you guys. Cameron with a $5 super chat. This is them talking about the Mr. Terrific scene. I think this is the scene in the movie because someone in Ohio filmed Mr. Terrific jumping around in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
I mean, maybe. I still think it's a fun scene. I actually think this early marketing before we get the trailer, kind of focusing on Krypto, is putting smiles on people's faces. Unless you're a really like miserable fucking person, you're smiling about this because you're getting ready for this trailer. Yeah. I'm excited for this trailer. Matter of fact, I said if I get off work early on Wednesday, I will stream on Wednesday night just to watch this trailer with you guys because I'm so excited to see it.
When is it releasing on Wednesday? Does it have like a time that's releasing on Wednesday?
I don't think so, unless I missed it.
I don't know. Last one came out during the morning, so I might assume morning? I don't know.
Mr. Terrific is so terrific that he's dog sitting for Superman.
All right, we had something else here. We're going to do some super chats, but we've got, what do I have left? The Peacemaker trailer. Is that is that getting claimed by people on YouTube?
I had a copyright, but I did not have a strike or anything.
Oh, wait, are y'all talking about the Spider-Man thing?
No,
no, the trailer. We're gonna watch Spider-Man and Peacemaker. Spider-Man getting claimed, Jake?
It getting our friend Chainsaw got a strike.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look at the photos then. I won't watch the trailer. There are some.
Apparently,
photos
it's not like officially released yet, which is
okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully the photos are safe because I don't want to strike. But are the photos good, or should I not even do that?
I don't know.
I mean,
so wait, it's not officially released. Where did it come from then?
I think I don't.
It wasn't an official page.
How did they get it though?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Because I was about to watch it, and then Chainsaw was like, "Yeah, my channel got a strike." And I was like, "Holy shit!" Okay, I'm
But
not.
the Peacemaker trailer is good to go, right?
Peacemaker's good. Yeah,
Okay.
you're good on that front.
All right. Okay. So we'll talk about Spider-Man, but we won't watch. Actually, there is a Deadline article about Spider-Man Noir, so we'll use that because that's probably good to go. It's probably, if it has a picture in it, it's probably good to go. So let me pull that up over here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's a shot here. Okay, that's really what I wanted to look at, was just the picture. Anyway, let's answer these super chats here.
I did see it. It was pretty good.
What, the trailer?
No, the trailer for Spider Noir.
That's
No, I mean,
what I just said.
No, I mean, I did see it, so I don't have to watch it again.
Okay, well, I just wanted to see the picture of the suit and stuff. So, all right, Super Jones Bros with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Ed Eric, thanks for debunking Nerdrotic. Used to listen to him for 3 years, but realized he's a phony. Don't need bad superhero takes from. Wait for the jugular,
Damn. Man, tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, I mean, I did a video earlier today where I talked about it. What in the world?
He clicked the wrong button.
Did he? Okay.
Darren likes Nerdrotic, I guess.
I guarantee he does not like Nerdrotic.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, but no, I did a video earlier today where I talked about them they misuse the term legacy character all of the time, and most people, when I explain this to them, they also either didn't know or they have heard it from people misusing it as well. A legacy character is not like Peter Parker and Steve Rogers and those characters. They're not legacy characters. The legacy characters are like Miles Morales and Kamala Khan and all of the characters that come after the originals. The originals, right, are foundational characters. The OGs are the foundational characters. The legacy characters are the ones that come after that. Yeah, so I hear these guys, right, that's where the name comes from, which is why I don't understand how they keep getting it wrong. But they keep calling the OG characters legacy characters. And these are the guys who tell everyone, they have millions of fucking subscribers, and they're using the wrong terminology over and over and over again, and it's so frustrating. I wonder if they're
getting confused with the term classic, because Spider-Man would be a classic hero.
Yes, there's a lot of terms you could use for the OG ones that work. I mean, original, foundational, classic. You could say the blueprints. You could use a lot of different terms for them.
Backbone, foundation.
Yeah, there's a lot, but legacy is specifically the characters that follow them up. Like the sidekick characters that eventually, every Robin after Dick Grayson is a legacy Robin.
Yeah. Terry McGinnis is a legacy Batman.
Yes. Yeah. So it's I hear them do that, and then I hear people repeating it incorrectly. And it's so frustrating because they are actively making people stupid. Yeah. They're actively contributing to the stupidity of people that are engaging in this media. And it's really frustrating.
People false information and people are beating it up.
Yeah. But thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Lone Wolf here, the $5 super chat. Like you guys, Brooklyn is my number one because of Raymond Holt and Andy Samberg. They were too hilarious for me. Cool. Yeah. So Lone Wolf agrees with you. I guess I'm the weird one that likes Park and Rec most and put Brooklyn Nine-Nine second. But
rest in peace to Andre.
I put Brooklyn Nine-Nine second.
What is that?
I put Brooklyn Nine-Nine second.
What did you put first?
It's Always Sunny.
Oh, okay. All right.
I literally have flashback to the.
Actually, I think I put Brooklyn Nine-Nine third because I put Always Sunny second. So I really dropped the ball. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you for the super chat. Cannon Guy says, "Welcome to society, Eric. People consuming and repeating stupidity is a skill that has accelerated in the last decade." I'm not going to disagree with you on that one.
I like you
All
more
right.
than the last decade.
All right, so we got this article here. Let me click over to the article. So this is from Deadline. I'm using this instead of the trailer only because I don't want any issues with copyright. Once it officially comes out, we'll watch the trailer together. We also know it's going to be, I think it's 8 episodes.
8.
Oh, do we
8?
know?
I think it's 8. Let's see here. Will be available both. Oh, it's going to be in color as well. You can watch it in color.
Interesting.
All right.
So it's kind of like a Logan.
Yeah, but it says it's at the same time though. They're both available at the same time.
That's interesting.
I'm not a stickler for this kind of stuff, but I actually think you need to watch it in black and white. I feel like that's
for this it works. Like,
Yeah,
I wonder if they're gonna either like release it as 2 separate things, like black and white version.
So
and
here's the
color
picture,
version,
guys.
or if they have like a feature on Disney Plus where it's like activate Noir filter or deactivate Noir filter, things like that.
All right, so here's the picture. Here. Actually, I'm going to close it again. There it goes. Much bigger. All right. Okay, so that's the suit. What do we think?
Looks good.
It's great.
I-
Probably because
like-
I just saw Darkman the other day, but I immediately had flashbacks to that. It's got like the hat and the coat and everything. Immediately made me think of that.
I'm glad that our first interpretations that it wasn't going to be a Spider-Man, show where you don't.
You don't know how happy I am to see the suit. I really was concerned about that.
Is this the first ever live-action Spider-Man show?
Spider-Man. Yes.
Technically, no.
There was a Spider-Man
yeah.
movie that came out on TV back in the 70s, but
There were 2 of them, weren't there?
yeah, I think
There was also a TV show,
yeah.
wasn't there?
Yeah, because
Wasn't there like a
I actually think it was always a movie, though. There might have been a TV show. I don't remember when I was little, but I remember seeing the movie.
So, if you're talking about the one with Nicholas Hammond, I thought that was a TV show.
Yeah, let me double check. I think it was a 1-season show, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it was
Let's
one
see.
season. Yeah, because I know they were going to do a TV movie with Nicholas Hammond and Lou Ferrigno in the 70s, but that never happened.
Yeah.
And then there was another one in Japan.
yeah.
All right,
there
so
was.
The Amazing Spider-Man is the pilot movie, which I saw in the 13-episode show.
Okay.
And then there's a Spider-Man Japanese series that came out the next year.
Yep.
Which is one with the mech. I think it's like a giant mech or whatever.
Which,
that's
ironically, Japan did a better live-action version of the Spider-Man suit than the States did at
Yeah.
first.
And then there's a third one, Spider-Man: The Electric Company shorts that came out before that. There's 29 of them.
I remember those. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. So
Man,
But still, I feel like even with all that, I do feel like
the first
this is
proper-
yeah, like this feels like on this scale of any sorts, this is very exciting. And I know this is noir, it's not your classic Spider-Man story. But if this is successful, I would love to live in a world where it's like, well, maybe we try something else over at Amazon. Maybe we do something else. I've always said Spider-Man, I think, would actually work best in TV form. Just look at all the successful TV shows he's had in animation. Like, people dog on the CW stuff, but I think ironically that template when it's good would work very well for Spider-Man.
I am very curious how this is going to be received, considering it's not on Disney Plus. It's on a separate thing altogether with Prime.
Yeah.
And it's not connected to anything.
Elseworld. Yeah.
Yeah.
might work to its benefit, though.
I hope so.
If that
Yeah.
erases the stigma of is there a little bit of a homework problem? Which that's a whole
Nope.
other conversation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Bobby, the Japanese live action Spider-Man show is legit. Like, if you go back and you watch that, it's so much fun.
yeah, I mean, I watched a bunch of reruns when I was little. Then because it was after that time that they were always putting Amazing Friends on re-airings, which that is still an amazing show, by the way. I love that cartoon to bits.
The Spider-Man has Amazing Friends.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
that one to bits.
That's a weird show, though, because there's weird seasons on it. Like, it's broken up very oddly.
Yeah.
There's one season where there's only 4 episodes and the art is very good, and then there's another season where the art isn't great and it's 20 some episodes. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that we have 4 Spider-Mans that we can call upon for a multiverse situation if there ever comes about.
5 if you count Miles.
Yep.
It should also be said, Amazon has a incredible track record with its superhero television. You know,
Yeah.
with The Boys, with Invincible, with The Tick, with
Oh God, the
a
tick.
couple others that I'm just not thinking
Right,
about
right.
that they've done over the last couple of years. Like they're
Yeah.
killing it, and
All
I'm
right.
excited to see.
Let's go ahead and watch the Peacemaker trailer, and then we're going to talk about all the drama. There is some drama around the Peacemaker trailer, and so
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
have you guys heard the drama? I just want to know before we get into it.
I mean,
I have a
It's
hunch, but
it's about a certain actor playing a certain character. Anyway, we'll get to it.
oh,
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
They're gonna be doing backflips to get you to join.
I love her.
yeah, she's great.
Welcome, Peacemaker,
Minecraft.
or do you prefer Chris?
Either's fine.
Can you tell us a little about your skills?
I'm considered the finest marksman in the world.
Mic is off.
Yeah.
I am also proficient in hand-to-hand combat.
How many more of these do we have today?
Is that popcorn still here?
You love popcorn.
My butt's getting really big lately, so.
I have a variety of helmets.
This guy sucks.
Excuse me? Am I supposed to be able to hear you guys?
Excuse me? You were talking about your butt and stuff. And also you said that I suck. It is not funny.
I don't get it. We saved the world.
I thought everyone would finally treat us like heroes.
I don't need anybody
I love
else to just
Vigilante.
forge my own path.
You're living in the worst level of Grand Theft Auto.
I've come to the conclusion you suffer from a particularly severe form of toxic masculinity.
Oh,
What?
Argus has been monitoring Peacemaker ever since Rick Flag Sr. was named director.
Does he know that I am?
Kill this time? Yeah.
Bring me Peacemaker.
so that ties into Suicide Squad.
Scan for any anomalies throughout that house.
Creature
Pony
Commandos.
boy, don't let him out of your sight. Titties, I want you to take the front door. Encino man, you take the back door. Got it?
Yeah, but not the fucking names, dude. You can't just call us that.
Where do you
Who's
think
gonna
we
get
are?
that
Fucking
reference?
Berkeley?
We haven't always been great people. But
We are the 11th Street Kids. No one will ever break us apart.
you ready for the next adventure, pal?
Keep on keeping on.
There we go.
Who the fuck are you?
All right. So before we get into the controversy, I enjoyed the trailer. I think it looks like it's going to be a fun season. And it looks like we're going to tie into some multiverse stuff. We're going to be addressing some stuff from the Suicide Squad. All of our characters are back, it looks like. The jokes landed. I thought all the jokes were fine. So yeah, I'm good. I'm ready for this already. So what are your thoughts on it, guys?
I don't know. Something about this trailer to me, and like some people were on like social media was like, "Oh, I liked it." I'm like, "That's totally fine." I'm glad everyone liked this. But something about it didn't sit with me exactly.
Right.
And it maybe like some of the jokes maybe just didn't sit with me as some of the other people's did, and that might just be because of it in trailer form doesn't have time to like act out in the actual joke. It's just like cut up because of the trailer and stuff like that. Maybe it's because all the characters at the front were absolutely dicks, and that's the whole point of their characters and stuff like that. But it also is like, oh wow, I hate Hawk Girl instantly. That's crazy. So it's like that's
well. People also
interesting.
pointed out that you know, his brother being Maxwell Lord is also a problem people have with the trailer.
Why?
I think they're exhausted with him casting the same people over and over and over again.
I mean,
think that's why.
it's not like it revealed anything new. We've known he was going to be Maxwell Lord for months.
I think we did, but I think a lot of the general public probably didn't know until they saw the trailer.
I think what they're mad about is that he looks nothing like Maxwell Lord, which I'm fine. I don't give a shit. I couldn't care less.
I mean, Maxwell Lord is one of the most generic-looking comic book characters.
Right.
So...
I mean, they put Pedro Pascal in there, and he didn't look a thing like Maxwell Lord, but they liked him in there just because it's Pedro Pascal.
And like Maxwell Lord also,
Oh my
unless
God.
they make him one, isn't like a huge character. Like he's a character that shows up every once in a while just to give info and be like, oh, I'm doing this thing over here. Like he shouldn't be like, he's not like David Cornsweat or Rachel where he's like the meat and potatoes. So just like he's just a character that's like, hey, we're doing this over here. Follow us in a random TV show or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like his level of I guess significance. I think one of the best equivalents that I could think of. This is just because it's something that's semi-recent. Whenever they had Tom Cavanaugh show up as Gordon Godfrey and Superman and Lois, it's that same sort of irrelevance that he has to that wider universe. It's like, hey, like good actor, but I'd be surprised if he's in the movie for more than like 5 minutes.
It's one of those characters, yeah, very similarly to his wife, and I'm slipping her name right now, but it's like those are characters that can keep coming back because they're on set and they're cheap and all that various stuff, but they're not big enough to be like, I'm giving my brother, Batman or something crazy to like, yeah, like.
So I remember seeing people were trying to figure out if this logo was going to be his new logo in the season because this was teased somewhere. I don't remember where it was teased, but I remember we saw it somewhere. And they were like, oh, the dove is going to be facing the other direction or something like that. But now we find out it's just a multiversal version of Peacemaker.
I think this is DC Universe Peacemaker.
So the DC... Oh, so the DCU... No.
Yes, I think this is this universe's current Peacemaker, and I think our Peacemaker kills this one and takes his spot.
So does everybody cross over with him then?
No. I think this whole season is him trying to fit in with this new group.
Wait a minute. So what happens to the other characters then?
I don't know. Like I think maybe
so basically
our version
the
of
only character that we
here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so basically our Peacemaker is the only one that's gonna be the same.
I think so, yeah. And I mean, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, except for his mental state of losing all his friends, like knowing that he left all his friends behind, because they've said it's basically the same characters, like there's not many changes in this.
So the story might be essentially the same. It's just the suit was different, and he probably has a different personality, slightly different personality.
I think so, yeah. But I could be wrong, maybe that scene is at the end of the season or something. Like maybe, I mean, for all we know, I guess not because there's the intro with all those characters and stuff. But actually, for all we know, that could be the end of the season.
Yeah,
it's season 1 takes place during the DCEU, and the season end with him merging over. We don't know.
I kind of do like the fact that if this is like a multiverse thing, it kind of shows the difference between kind of like a how the Flash movie was supposed to cement the change in the timeline to where the DCU is the new continuity. If I feel like this what the Flash should have been, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
This feels like them trying to be like, hey, we're switching.
Maybe. Yeah, and I actually think that kind of works in the show's favor, because one of my big criticisms for this upcoming season is it'd be very awkward for people to jump in, watch season 1 and expect it not to be canon. It's well, that doesn't make much sense. And I had said this is the only way this works if on screen they are literally hey, audience, this is a different universe now. You can watch the whole season, and it is canon to the DCU, which then makes the continuity thing even weirder. It's well, do you put that on the timeline as well, along with Suicide Squad and all that stuff as well?
Don't think about it too hard.
Yes, but that's a lot of air quotes to start a universe. This is stuff that you should be dealing with in 10 years, not in your third project ever.
I mean, I said that if the ideal way to go about this whole thing should have just been hard reboot. As good as some of the stuff from Old Era was, the way to minimize confusion. I mean, the only thing that you could have really taken over, the only thing that I think you could have brought over from DCEU and not have any bit of confusion whatsoever is Blue Beetle, because all they did was they talk about those characters, but you never see a face associated with those characters, so they would just be able to phase it in and retroactively add it like that.
It looks like Omega has joined the party.
Hello, Omega. How's it going?
All right, so we ready to talk about the controversy? Ready to jump into it?
Ruh-roh.
All right. So,
Are there any Patriots fans in the chat? We know you love controversy.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Michael Rooker playing a Native American character in Peacemaker Season 2?
He's Mary Poppins, y'all.
Okay, this better be like a joke that everyone's in on.
Well, there's 3 characters that I wrote down the names of the 3 characters that people thought he was going to be playing. One of them is Apache Chief from the Super Friends animated series, but he can change size. This doesn't seem like it's that character. I mean, it could be. Black Bison is another one, and we've had a live action Black Bison before, but Manitow Raven, which is another Native American mystic member of the Justice League. There's 3 things about those characters that make this controversial.
You know what I think this...
They're all Native American, and he is not.
Yeah. I think that might be the point. Like, I don't think it's any of those characters. I don't. I think in universe, this is someone being a shitty person. Because James Gunn loves those.
Well, I mean, we had it with Peacemaker's father, obviously.
Exactly same thing. I think in universe, the character was going to be like, hey, man, you can't be doing that. That's fucked up. Because James Gunn loves those kind of jokes. He loves those kind of
but okay, so we're going to look at this 2 different ways. Another character they said is Snowflame. And people are like, oh, it's Snowflame, right? Snowflame is from Colombia. So it's still not good.
Yeah.
Because Michael Rooker is not Colombian or Native American, so that's still not good.
I think you brought this up, Eric. I'm just waiting for that one person to be like, the Apache Chief from Super Friends.
Yeah. I hope, because I like the trailer, I do like the show kind of confronting controversy and satire all at the same time. I think that's good. It's fun. I hope that's what it is, because if they've cast him as a spiritual Native American character and they've made him a white guy, that is very bad for James Gunn and the DCU.
Agreed.
I mean, I'm sure MAGA will love it, but yeah, this is a good look.
I mean, not only that, but look, he's got like a blood spot on his head and stuff. Like
this better be just a really crude joke.
Yeah, it feels like a Family Guy bit where it's like a character that's not supposed to do something, it's doing something. It's like, hey, not supposed to do that. That's
and there's plenty of other Native American actors who are freaking hilarious. The dude, I don't know his name, but the dude who plays William Nightman on Reservoir Dogs, the dude's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot better options, but that's why I think Darren might be onto something. Is that they might be in on the joke. Like Tropic Thunder, sort of.
Yeah, I bet it's that. It better be that type of thing.
But like, even if that is the case, I don't even necessarily think that's that funny anymore. Like, it's fine, it's acceptable, but it's like, I'm getting a little tired. Like, I like James Gunn, I think he's great, but I do feel like his like Suicide Squad, his Peacemaker, his Creature Commandos, and how he writes those kind of comedies are getting a little stale for me after a while.
Like Fetman, I don't think that's gonna I don't think there is anything other than satire that works in this moment.
Yeah.
Because literally the controversy, and this isn't just, it's not just me saying it for controversy's sake, because I'm not saying I agree with what people are like. I don't know what he's doing in the show. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But say for example, he is replacing a Native American character, and it's not he's not in on the joke. People are going to be mad. Also, if he is, think about this for a second. Just follow me on this one. If this is supposed to be like Black Bison or some other superhero from the comics, right? He's playing it as a joke, and by doing that, he is removing a Native American character that could have been on the show or could have been in the DCU, because there's so little of them.
Yeah.
To make a joke out of it. I don't know if this is going to work the way he wants, even if it is supposed to be a joke.
I wonder
would you be that tone deaf?
I wonder if this character is going to be like taking on the aspects of like basically, I've seen people like basically take their culture and use it in their personal life. You know, I've seen that. Like, I wonder if this character is like American, but also wants to be like taking on the what the religion of American natives.
Well, it's not really a religion. It's just Native American people.
Well, I
in
mean, like,
general.
yeah, basically take on the
Yeah.
lifestyle of a Native American.
And I think,
It's
and
a
yeah,
different
like I think
culture.
that's what it is, 3 Dubs. But I think it's hopefully going to be showing, hey, that's not a good thing to do. Like
Right.
you are in the wrong.
But let me.
Kinda like
I
a
just want to
Robert Downey
reiterate
Jr.
this. I just want to reiterate this. Say, for example, he is supposed to be. We'll just say Black Bison. We'll just go with that name. He's supposed to be Black Bison, but the joke is he's a white guy who is racist, and he's just trying to That takes away an opportunity to actually use Black Bison in a meaningful way in the DCU. So therefore, you have subtracted a space for a Native American person to play a character that could have been someone they use down the road for a joke in a TV show. And I think that might be a problem.
What was his character's name in Suicide Squad?
Whose? Michael Rooker's
Yeah.
character? Let me see. Hold on.
Because I've heard people theorize that's just him. Like he's playing that character again in this continuity, and is that character being an asshole, like being.
Well, that character died, so.
Well, yeah, but this is a new universe now, right? Like anyone from that movie could come back.
Yeah, but I mean, like they're keeping in like the whole thread of like Greg Flag Jr. like him being dead, carrying that over. So I mean,
I think they can carry that. Like
that would just be really finicky cherry picking if they do that.
Yeah, I didn't even remember the character's name.
But
Saban.
that happens two separate parts of the movie, Jake. Like that's a completely different direction, and like with that logic, you can never use like a Captain Boomerang in this universe, and I think that would be a little.
What do you mean?
If you like anyone that died like in that movie can't come back in this new universe, I think like that restricts a lot of these characters that you can use. Like you can never bring back a Captain Boomerang, you can never bring back any of those various characters.
Right, that I agree with. I'm just saying I don't know how.
Oh, I just double checked. It has been confirmed that the character he's playing has shamanistic mystical powers. That is something that was used in the description of the character.
Well, but just kind of going to Darren's point, like I don't know how. What's the word I want to use here? Like fast and loose. I guess is the term I'm looking for. Like I don't know how fast and loose they're going to play with canon like that, or if it's literally just picking things out of a hat. It's like, okay, this thing transfers, this thing doesn't, this thing does, this doesn't.
Agreed.
I don't know where to go with this. I'm thinking about it, and I'm just like, this seems like it doesn't. No matter what the choice is, unless
I'm nervous. Yeah.
Unless he is very, 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 very clever with this, and even then, I'm super worried. Maybe it is a character that isn't from the comics. Maybe it's just a 100% made up character for the show. But I'm saying at least then, if he's like a throwaway character, it won't be taking something away from like one of the Native American characters.
Yeah. Which that might end up being the best route for them to go down is have this just being a character they made up.
I mean,
but
it's
then
really the only.
Then you're wasting Michael Rooker, who is a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got his hair braided and everything. It's really rough.
He's Mary Poppins.
It's really rough. I don't try to be super woke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to jump to conclusions and be like, this is, like the other guys, like the opposite of the anti-woke people. Like, I don't want to do that.
The SJW.
But I'm trying my best to math the math in my head for this, and it's just nothing is coming out with
it's
the
a bad look for now. I guess we just got to wait and see if it's as bad as we think.
Right.
Because if it's not... Okay, so... there's no good way to do this, I don't think. Because if he is a character from the comics that is being played in on the joke, you're still taking a space away from like the limited Native American characters that exist in the DC universe. So that's not good. But best case scenario, it is in on the joke and that it's not a serious thing and he's not supposed to legitimately be any of those characters. But then he's not important, and Michael Rooker is a great actor. And you don't want to just get rid of him again after you did that shit to him in the Suicide Squad.
I'm sure he ain't cheap. So, is he going to be like a mystic guide for Peacemaker? Is that what he's supposed to be in the show? I don't even know how this fits in the show, to be honest, based on what we know of the show.
Anyway, it's like in his head or something. Like maybe like because he's merged into this other universe, like things are like clashing in his brain, and like, you know, Chris isn't the most like woke character of all time. Like he's a pretty like
Absolutely, yeah.
like he's a pretty like, you know, he's trying to be better, but like maybe in his head this
have
is
a good
what,
night, God Zen. Sleep
in
good.
his head this is what people from that culture looks like or sounds like, or you know, whatever. And that,
But even then, it's just still like, because he tried to.
It's like, why do it? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, he fought against his father for being racist. So I mean, like, I can't imagine
he's
that.
trying to do better.
Yeah, but the thing about it is it worth the joke? Like, think about this. What point would that prove in the show if that is the case?
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't think there's a good answer for that. So we're gonna have to wait. Like, I'm gonna put a bookmark on this because I'm sure we're gonna get more information as it gets closer to the show. But I am very nervous about this storyline.
Agreed.
I'm very nervous because I want the show to be good. But I will tell you right now, everyone in this panel and everybody in this chat, if he turns a Native American character into a white guy and then dresses him up like a Native American, there's no defending that for me. That is just indefensible.
It has to be a joke.
And the last thing DC needs right now is controversy.
Yeah.
Like that is the last thing they need.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, hold on. Let me see what else we got here. I think that was pretty much it for the stream. But we actually have a few more things. Let me do this. Here. A few more small things.
Would you know it would be controversy when he did it? So what?
No,
like,
he
what
knew.
was-
There's no way. Like, there's no way to put a white guy in like traditional Native American stuff and give him like spiritual shaman powers and not know that it's offensive. There's no way.
He's not that tone deaf.
I mean, he's been pretty, like, I feel like ever since, obviously, those old tweets came out, like, I think since then he's been very, like, I think he's one of the, like, very rare cases in Hollywood where people have learned from their mistakes. And it doesn't happen a lot, but, like, I think he's been very transparent about being very vocal against that side of the internet and stuff like that.
The reason why I was saying is, like, why would he show it if he knew it was going to be this way? Like,
Because that's what I'm saying is it may be a joke and he thinks that's going to make it okay. Look, James Gunn is an old dude. I get it. Like, he's very much invested in being progressive. I know that. I understand that. But he's still an old guy. And old guys sometimes don't realize that something they think is progressive is actually offensive. So unless he handles this the right way or had some person like come in and say, maybe that's not a good look, he might not see a problem with it. And it still could be utterly offensive. Say, for example, he is on the joke, right? So Darren, he's got a white guy that, you know, hates, like, I don't say hates, he's bigoted towards like Native American characters, right? And so he's pretending to be a shaman or whatever. The end joke might be that everyone on the team hates that and nobody agrees with it. But my problem with that is, and this is what he may not have thought about, is that takes a role away from a Native American character that may be used in that role down the road.
Yes.
That's the problem.
That is the only scenario where this works for me, where if that's an original character and it's the same scenario where you just mentioned, it's this random bullshit character that he's a racist fuck and everyone hates him and that's his place. But again, like we just said, it's Michael Rooker. Why would you give Michael Rooker that kind of role? That's such a waste of his talent.
Maybe he just wanted to play a racist again. He missed it in Walking Dead.
Well, Pete, I'm not saying that, like, okay, so let me put this out there. I'm not saying that it's impossible for like a white person to be integrated into Native American culture. That's absolutely historically happened. It's also something that we still see today because white people integrate into all different kinds of cultures. Like, it's very common, right? What I'm saying is you have one space for that on a TV show and you decide to make it a gag character for what reason?
Right.
That's going to be the question they're going to have for him. I'm not saying, like, look, I'm someone that enjoys the Tom Cruise Samurai movie, and I know it's problematic. I still enjoy it. So I'm not saying that there's no value in that. I'm saying that that James Gunn has outwardly been progressive, and it's actually not progressive. He's gone so far trying to be progressive that he actually crossed over that threshold and flipped on the other side of it, and for a joke. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll see. Yeah, Judo Master was also considered controversial in season 1. So, I like the character, but there was controversy around that character as well. So, yeah, they're white passing Native Americans, but Michael Rooker is not a Native American. He's just a white guy.
Yeah.
So, that's not good either. Like if they wanted a white passing Native American, they still could have cast a Native American and put him in that role. Like there is literally only one possible good outcome to the storyline, and it still seems sad because you're wasting Michael Rooker.
Right.
So
that's like the best worst case scenario.
Right.
Do you have to be like 100% Native American to be play a Native American, or can it be 1%?
He's not even 1% though. That's the thing. He's just a white dude. Like it's not. They've got him 3-dub. They have him with hair braids and beads on and blood on his forehead. Like they are going hardcore. Like this is a shaman from some Native American tribe.
You're saying
like
white guys
I don't
normally have blood on their forehead?
Well, I mean,
I'm kidding.
I don't even want to think about where that blood came from, considering it's a white guy dressed up like a shaman. But yeah. So, Jalen, I don't think there's a lot of people that probably won't care, but the problem is that controversy is not something they want right now. So I don't know. Nobody's mad, Anthony Cheeseman. Is anybody mad? I don't think anybody's mad. I'm just curious how they're doing it.
I just think this is just a bad look. That's all.
Yeah. No, they're definitely. If it ends up being just a Native American character that's made white, there will 100% be pushback.
Yeah.
And it will be justified. But I don't think anybody's mad right now because we don't really know what it's doing. Yeah. If I'm mad about anything, it's that if it is that's wasting Michael Rooker's character. I think he could be a much better character.
I'm more worried than mad.
I'm not even really worried yet because we don't. I understand what you're saying, and I think some people could be worried, and I would justify it. I'm more curious. Like, I want to know what they did because I want to be completely wrong. I'm hoping that it is something so wildly different that we didn't even think about it. That's what I want.
And that's my whole thing with like Peacemaker, because I've been very, very pessimistic about this entire season. What is so good about the season that you have to transfer universes? This has never happened before. I can't think of another situation where one season started in one continuity and then went to another.
Right.
Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow.
No. That's like season 1 of Flash being in the like DC EU, and then season 2 taking place in like the like DC AMU. Like something like this has never happened, and I'm curious. But what is so good about this story and this character that you have to justify doing all this?
I actually think they were stuck in a really bad spot because Peacemaker season 1 was very well received.
Agreed.
But it was also DC EU. So it was like, do we get rid of it just because of that, or do we figure out a way to make it work? I think they were just in a bad spot.
I think they should have just done a Daredevil type situation to where like make it a Born Again type thing where like you can continue whatever plot threads.
I would have just removed the Justice League scene from the finale.
Don't call it season 2.
Yeah.
They could have removed the Justice League scene from the finale, and that was it.
Well, I brought this up with Darren a couple times too. I said, how funny would it be if like 3-4 years, whenever we have our Justice League actors playing like whoever they're going to have play those parts, if they retroactively go in there and reshoot that scene to add those new faces in.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a really fun way to cast those characters. Like they cast.
I mean, the reality is they could have just kept Peacemaker separate.
Yeah,
they could have just kept the show in that continuity and never had him engage with the Justice League at all.
Yeah,
unless they plan on using his character somewhere else.
Because that's what Blue Beetle did. Like, it was technically DCEU when it started, but he never engaged with anybody in that wider DCU. There was no, connective things that tied anything together, which is why it was able to be kind of retroactively thrown into this new era.
That's why it's so funny, is because like the later DCEU had no continuity rarely outside of a rare Wonder Woman appearance or something.
Right. Yeah. Wonder Woman was the one tying thread to everything. She showed up in everything.
Yeah, like people getting a badmouth Snyder for all the stuff they want to, but he had continuity between his films.
Wonder Woman was was mid-credit scene, you're gonna get Wonder Woman. Post-credit scene, you're gonna get Wonder Woman. Okay, so this is the last big thing we're going to talk about here because I just want to get Ryan's thoughts on this. Regarding Superman, recent test screenings have gone well. I saw Corn Sweat and I got confused. David Corn Sweat was universally praised. Everybody continues to love Krypto.
Of course.
Guy Gardner was the standout supporting character that got the most buzz from the audiences.
Wow.
And the ending made many attendees cry. And then he goes on to say, for what it's worth, I was told the ending of Superman hit as emotionally satisfying and powerful as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, It's that kind of reaction. I have no clue why or what the ending is, but that's what the word is going around. Being very straightforward with everyone. I've not heard much regarding fight scenes, Lois, Lex, or the Daily Planet crew. I only got a sense of broad strokes and what people liked most and what the main takeaway from the recent test screenings were.
Volume 3 hit me more than Volume 2.
I think Volume 3 was better, yeah.
I was gonna say I don't really like Volume 2 that much.
Yeah, Volume 2's not like out of every.
I think 1 and 3 have more emotionally satisfying endings than 2 does.
Yeah, I mean they're also just much better.
Take my hand. Yeah, that was emotional.
What do we think? Anything take away from this, you guys, at all?
I mean, I think most of this is kind of what we expected. Like David Cornsett, we knew would be great. Krypto, we know would be great. Guy Gardner comments are interesting that he's the stand-up, but I guess that makes sense. Like, I think people like those like lovable asshole kind of characters, like those you know, so dumb, but they kind of work in the context
That's why
of this.
Deadpool made a lot of money. I mean,
Oh yeah. Hell,
Yeah.
even Peacemaker was amazing. He's another lovable idiot.
Yeah,
Lovable
Peacemaker's a
asshole
great
idiot.
example. But like again, like that kind of goes into our like Peacemaker, or like the Peacemaker season 2 stuff, where it's like those characters show up and I already hate them. I'm like, these fucking assholes. I can't believe it, right? But again, maybe that's the point. Maybe that's why people love them, is because they are these like pieces of shit or
They're
whatever.
the worst.
And they don't learn their lesson yet, which is interesting because I
Mhm.
kind of thought maybe at least some of them would like.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
just-
if Peacemaker
go ahead.
season 2 is before Superman.
I've heard
So
people theorize that.
Because that would make a lot more sense because of them being assholes.
Maybe.
Unless
Or maybe they
they're
just
still
are still
corporate.
assholes. I don't know.
Unless they're still assholes and still corporate and still working for Maxwell Lord after the end of this.
Yeah, like because that's the interesting thing. Because going into that movie, I kind of was expecting that team to like disband and go their separate ways, and maybe even lead to like the official Justice League, right? Maybe, not yet, maybe, but like that leading to down the line, at least for someone like Hawkgirl, right? Like I thought that would be a character that would maybe transform outside of like the realm of Maxwell Lord, but
Well, we didn't
see.
see Mr. Terrific. Maybe he's the one that takes the leave.
Sure, possible.
Didn't see Metamorpho either.
Yeah.
All right, hold on here for a second. I'm seeing a lot of people now repeating that Ironheart situation where it's going to be 3 and 3.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people comment it.
I'm wondering if we're getting more confirmation that that's the reality of it.
I mean, at the end of the day, like it'll be like the fact that it's even coming out will even be a miracle. Like I think
I feel bad that that's the bar that we have, is like we're just finally happy we're getting it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
You're being honest, but I hate that that's the bar.
Yeah.
All right, we have a super chat here from Cameron. Thank you, $5 super chat. I think Peacemaker season 2 would have come out sooner if James Gunn not becoming the CEO of DC Studios and having direct Superman. You're probably right.
No.
Oh, you don't think
it
so?
just wouldn't have come out if James Gunn wasn't the CEO of DC. That would have been canceled.
Oh, you're right, because they would have just gotten rid of the DCEU altogether. So yeah,
100%.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I didn't even think about that, but you're right, because I think after the flop that was Aquaman and then the Flash, or what order was that in? The Flash and then Aquaman. Those two things underperforming massively would have been it for David Zaslav. Like he would have
Shazam
just
also.
Oh, I forgot about that movie, Shazam too. Yeah, that would have been it for David Zaslav. I truly believe if James Gunn didn't come on as the head of DC Studios, doing these movies, he would have sold these films out to other places probably.
Yeah.
So, I think it's really funny that he dumped Batgirl and kept the Flash, and Batgirl probably would have been a better movie.
Batgirl would have made so much more money. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
mean-
curious about that movie, man.
I mean, it's practically done. I mean, I've said this too, and like they could still release it as something that's part of the Elseworlds banner in
Yeah.
like a year or two. Like once this
Streaming
universe
movie.
gets going, just put it out there as something.
It's so-
because at this point,
Yeah.
what do you have to lose by putting it out?
Well, the thing was, I think they actually dumped it thinking they were going to try and streamline the DCEU. So they were like, we're going to get rid of this because we're doing that soft reboot thing with the Flash movie. And then they completely scrapped it.
Well, they
got rid of Batgirl for no reason whatsoever.
Well, they shelved it, and they said, like, "Oh, we did this for a tax write-off." It's like, is that really why you did it?
Was it a tax write-off or a tax write-down? Is there two different meanings to that?
No, I don't think tax write-down isn't a thing. I don't think, but it should be.
Well, a tax write-off, as far as I know, you don't have to actually destroy the films and stuff. The write-down means you can't ever show it to anyone. I think a write-down means you have to actually destroy the any property. You can't keep any of it. Which is why they're always copyright claiming anything that comes out. But they're actually copyright claiming stuff that isn't even like film footage, which I think is crazy. They've copyright claimed and DMCA'd stunt work. They've done behind the scenes stuff where people were just talking about it, which isn't even their property. But the DMCA system is so antiquated that people don't fight it. But keep in mind the movie's budget. I'm just looking here. The movie's budget was less than $90 million because of the COVID stuff or whatever. Right? Very cheap movie to make. Michael Keaton had a major role as Batman, Bruce Wayne.
J.K. Simmons, Brandon Fraser.
Right.
Fraser, yeah.
Yeah.
After winning an Oscar. Oh, my God.
Right. Like, he was just coming off The Whale.
Yeah, yep. I'm just looking here, and it says that, there were several different reasons that were... They said 3 different things about why it was canceled. David Zaslav talked about a new direction focusing on theatrical releases, high-quality content, and they put The Flash out. We're not going to launch a movie until it's ready. We're not going to put out a movie unless we believe in it. You put out Aquaman, and you put out Shazam, too. Quality concerns. Reports indicated that internal screenings of Batgirl received negative feedback, and some people said it's irredeemable, which I don't believe that. I think there's no way that movie was... It's no way The Flash was considered the best superhero movie of all time by some of these folks, but Batgirl was irredeemable. Yeah. Irredeemable.
Tom Cruise loved it because the Batwing stuff reminded him of Top Gun.
It also says the other excuse was releasing the film would have required significant additional investment for marketing and distribution. By shelving the project, Warner Brothers Discovery could take a tax write-down, which was a more financially prudent option. Which, by the way, I don't believe that either because they could have sold it to a streaming service.
They gave Black Adam like a couple months of reshoots to fix their thing and do whatever they felt needed to there, but they didn't want to do it for this.
Well, the truth is, they could have sold Batgirl to Prime. They could have sold Batgirl to Netflix. They could have done that, recouped their production costs because they would have given them more than $90 million for that movie. They could have recouped that, and then people still could have seen it. It was such a bad business decision from them in every possible way.
And it set precedent that you can cancel something 99% done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've seen that from David is like he just doesn't think like that. Like he doesn't like process like okay, what ultimately could make us more money. It's like this is easiest. It gives me money, just do it.
Keep in mind, Blue Beetle didn't really do well either. Even though it was inexpensive for them to make, they had Batgirl, arguably one of the most iconic Bat family members.
Yeah,
ready to go, and they chose Black Adam as a solo movie. They chose to do a Flash movie that wasn't very good. Aquaman, somehow they fucked that up because the third act was atrocious in that movie. It was a fine movie until the third act, and then the third act just completely fell apart. They made all those bad decisions when they could have just put Batgirl out with Brendan Fraser in it.
Would have made more than...
Aquaman was one of those cases where it's like, well, the first movie made too much money to where we can't not put a sequel out there. So they felt like they had to.
Blue Beetle was a good movie. I don't have an issue with it. It just didn't make very much money for them.
Yeah.
Black Adam should have been the villain of Shazam too, but they listened to The Rock.
Or honestly, like even then, if they wanted to have it not be the villain of Shazam 2, just switch that movie around. Have it be a JSA movie where he's the villain of that.
The problem is that The Rock didn't want to be a villain.
No,
that's the issue.
I like Dwayne Johnson.
I think that when The Rock did his contract, basically he can't lose, so they have to tie it. Basically, he tied or gave up. Like he basically gave up in the film.
What were you gonna say, Omega?
I was like, I like Dwayne Johnson, but they should have told him to F off. No, I'm sorry. That was just dumb.
The hierarchy of. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
That's right.
He was concerned about putting himself at the forefront of that universe with absolutely no knowledge of how.
Yeah, really. It's like if you don't want to play the villain, don't be Black Adam.
I agree. Black Adam would have been a better villain for Shazam 2. Those villains were awful.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What's so crazy about that is like if you want to do that, you can slowly do that. Another villain has done that in a cinematic universe with like Loki. Like Loki is literally holding the MCU
that's
together.
that is one of the best villain to hero arcs we've seen.
But
in,
you
in superhero
have
movies.
to take your time with it. You have to start as the villain and make your way there. Make people love you. Yeah.
And despite how much Black Adam claimed that he's not a hero in his movie, ironically, he still ended up being one of the most heroic people in that whole franchise.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like funny to see the different perspective of the villain that we know is the villain, but to his perspective, the heroes are the real villains of his story, which is kind of interesting to see. It's kind of like Venom.
Yeah. I also want to point out that there was controversy around The Rock playing that character because of his not being of Middle Eastern ethnicity.
Yeah. He didn't even try to put on an accent either.
No, he's Dwayne Johnson playing The Rock.
I know that they created like a fake world of what is it, Kahndaq? I think they created that fake world or whatever. But still, I mean, he's supposed to be from that part of the world, so it's just like
it's basically the Middle Eastern Wakanda.
Right, and the fact that he's he's asleep in the ground for like 500 years or however long it is, and has like a flawless American accent as soon as
he's supposed to be the most Arab of Arabs.
Right.
They did set up Mr. Mine as the villain, but I guess they found out that wasn't exciting enough for them, so they had to go do something else.
They set it up again.
They did it again. They did it again.
It was almost a gag. It was almost a gag at this point. Like, and then putting Superman at the end of Black Adam, like they were gonna have this duel or this face off, and it's like
they did that just to get people to go see the movie, and I mean, it kind of worked.
Which, by the way, go ahead, Darren.
And like I do think that was technically the plan, right? Like when they released Black Adam, they had Henry Cavill back. They're like, "You are the Superman again. Here you go." But it's like, I think like the whole Mr. Mime thing that was atrocious.
I also
want
to point out that Henry Cavill has proven, no offense, I like Henry Cavill, proved through several movies that he's not a box office draw as Superman.
Nope.
No,
he's just not.
They basically proved to the Snyder people like if he was in the movie, would you come to it? And you didn't come to it.
I think it was 100% a test. The reason why they didn't care if that was spoiled is they wanted to see if Snyder fans who say they wanted Henry Cavill back as Superman would come out and support his return in Black Adam, even if it was only in like an end credit scene. And guess what? They didn't.
They didn't.
Which again kind of goes back to like the casual audience thing I was talking about. Yes, they're a very vocal community. They are not enough of a community to make a movie a box office success. You need to bring in those new people. You need to bring in people who don't know Superman yet, who don't know DC as well as we do. Make them fall in love with these characters.
I want to just address this for a second. I'm not going to call someone a liar when it comes to The Rock or whatever. I have literally never in my entire life, and I've been reading comics since the 70s, ever heard any single person say that Black Adam is their favorite superhero.
Yeah.
I have never heard anyone say that. Never.
Also, before The Rock was attached to the character, he was never considered a superhero. He's a dictator of a country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he's a liar. I just find that really hard to believe.
I wonder if he just liked the idea of him, right? Like
he found the character that most resembled himself.
And he's like, oh, this character kind of looks like me a little bit, and he's got Superman type powers, so this is the one I want to play.
So it's like, let's use this let's use this character as a tool to prop me at the front of
I know, Jason, I know he said it. I said I find it hard to believe. I'm not saying he didn't say it. I said I've never heard anybody say it, so I find it hard to believe that anybody really means that.
I mean, it's possible. Like, there's comic characters where it's like I knew of them, I liked what they were in theory, but like I didn't know them. I wasn't actively reading their comic books.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's like basically saying like it's a superhero genre. Like Black Adam is part of a superhero genre, where the hero Shazam takes him on, which is technically.
But that's the thing is he didn't want to fight Shazam. Black Adam is canonically a Shazam villain. But he didn't want to fight Shazam. He wanted to fight Superman.
I'll say this too: if he was as big of a fan of the character as he claimed to be, he would have realized he's not the right person for the role.
He would also realize that he doesn't really fight Superman unless Shazam is involved.
Yeah.
And I think, if memory serves, it was fan casted too. Like he was asked what he would play in like a DC project, and I think he had like Black Adam was one.
Well, yeah, right. He was fan casted, so he looked up Black Adam. He's like, "Oh shit, this is a guy that's powerful enough to fight Superman. So this is the person I want to be."
Yeah.
That's it.
I wonder if they would have eventually bended his contract to where he loses that fight, though. You know, that wouldn't have happened.
I think that like, wasn't it 3W said he's got like a contractual agreement that he can't. So I think he probably would have just fought Superman to a standstill, and neither one of them would have been considered the winner. That's what I think.
If they do that, it kind of goes against Superman's weakness, which is magic, and
that's exactly it. Is Black Adam, unlike Shazam, is a bit smarter with how he uses his magical powers as a superhero. However, there's no way DC would have let Black Adam beat Superman.
No,
not realistically, not
long term.
Yeah.
He would have had an upper hand, but if there wasn't an upper hand moment, I would have been like, "This is bullshit."
Well, they could have gone back and forth in the fight, just like he did with Zod. I think that's a fair statement. You know what I mean? Like he did with Doomsday and everything. But Superman got killed in his second movie in the DCEU.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Exactly. So they're not going to put him up against another character and have him get his ass handed to him right after he comes back from dying. Like that doesn't make any sense. That just doesn't. So I don't even know why they considered it. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Anyway, with that being said, I think we're going to wrap it up with the 3-hour mark again, which is crazy. Tomorrow, though, I will, if I am able to, and enough news drops, I'll do another like Nerdcast. We'll see how long it goes, because I want to talk about the upfronts. We might get some exciting news. There might be a trailer for Ironheart. I do want to watch that. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Thanks everybody for being here. Let's see what
I just saw Thunderbolts earlier today. It's a really good movie. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, no, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna end the poll. What did you think of Thunderbolts? Give us your thoughts.
Oh no, it was freaking great. There's some parts in the middle I was kind of yawning at, but once Sentry comes out, I was like, oh, this is what I wanted. And then when he goes in Dark Sentry, does he do that in the comics?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a trademark.
Yeah,
the Void is ridiculous in the comics. Like if you read the run from like the early 2000s, it's like so bad that he has to make everyone forget that he existed because it's just that powerful.
During that scene where Red Guardian saves the little girl, and then seconds later she's like, I was like, this better not be a Flash moment. What the heck? Like basically, my biggest complaint about the Flash movie is the babies falling. I hate the babies falling.
I did read your super chat, but I'll pull it back up here if you didn't see it. I like the Blue Beetle movie. I don't think it was done. I think I read your super chat. Maybe I didn't, but I did see it when you pulled it up. So here we go. I did like the Blue Beetle movie. I don't think the Blue Beetle movie was a bad movie. I do think that it was probably a better film for streaming than it was for cinemas.
Yeah,
it was also poorly placed within the DCU because they had already been told that a lot of their films coming out weren't going to matter anyway,
and they didn't want to commit. They didn't want to commit this to the new DCU. They were like, "Oh, maybe it's in the DCU." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
the chance of seeing that character again was purely going to depend on the success and reception of this.
Yeah, which is why I think a TV show.
Aren't we getting that cartoon soon?
Animated show, yeah.
Well,
I don't know about soon, but it's in the works.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that. All right. So surprise, surprise, the poll shows that everybody wants me to do a stream on John Walker did nothing wrong reaction. So there is a couple
really turning around on John Walker because of course in Falcon and Winter Soldier he was just irredeemable asshole.
Everybody hated him. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's like, dude was just going through some shit.
Well, I mean, I think that's a really, like, we talked about Black Adam. This is the way you turn a character around, is you do it the right way. Like, you don't do a movie where you're like, oh, he's evil for 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden he's a superhero. That's not...
Yeah, it's like, this was over a long time. It's like, now he's like realizing, yeah, I was an asshole. I lost my wife and kid because I was an asshole.
Right.
Like, they left me because of that, so...
Yeah, so there is a video essay about John Walker did nothing wrong, so...
How long is it?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me check.
Is it like 2 hours or some shit?
Let's see. John Walker did nothing wrong. It's from 6 days ago, and it's a 20-minute video.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
There's actually several of them, but I think they're probably all the same talking points. This one has 200,000 views. So there's actually another one called The Sympathetic Straw Man, How Marvel Accidentally Created One of the Best MCU Characters. That's also 22 minutes. So what we might do is, if it's one stream, we might watch both of them and just see like what the points of view are. Because I have my own opinions about John Walker, but I will say Thunderbolts did a great job of like doing that, starting that U-turn of the character to like fix a broken person, which I think is important. I mean, the show is basically about depression and like PTSD. So I think it's great, or the movie was. Anyway, all right. I want to thank everybody for joining. Paigey did say he was trying to come back, but I guess he didn't. So thank you, Paigey, for being here.
Yeah, no, that's right. I'm Paigey. I was Paigey the whole time. No.
Thanks, Lance, for joining in. He'll probably watch his own playback. Thank you, 3Dub, for being here from the start. I appreciate it. Check out his channel. Thank you, Jake and Darren, for jumping in. I do appreciate it. Go check their channels out as well. You guys already know, but I'm going to give them a shout out anyway. And Omega for coming in at the end, clutching it up with his wisdom. And
love that shirt.
Yeah, that's
shirt. Awesome. I had it for forever.
Yeah. I do appreciate it. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for all the super chats. You guys were amazing tonight. I do appreciate it. I will be live again tomorrow, most likely around the same time, to watch all the upfront stuff from the Disney side, because I'm not going to be home all day, so I'll probably be watching most of it like when I get in. So if anybody wants to join, of course, everybody's welcome to be here. Anyway, thanks everyone, and we are going to end the stream now. Get ready. Awkward end.